sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with y'all. Mini skirt on, take my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with y'all. Mini skirt on. Two foreign cars, I make rich look.
Girl tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between, welcome back to SVDS, Scottish Virtual Drift Series, Round 5, our final round of the season, and it's only gonna get crazy. Here we are. We have we have Cameron Mustard up here, ready to do a buy run. We have a couple of buy runs to run for you guys today, so you guys can get a little bit of taste of what qualifying was. As unfortunately, due to technical difficulties, we didn't have a live stream for yesterday, so we got a couple of solo guys to go up and give you guys the lay of the land. I'm joined here today with my lovely co-commentator, and the first time in the booth here, Brandon. What do you feel like?
It's
crazy, Austin. As obviously you all know, I compete myself. So I'm going to be bouncing in between top 32 and in here for the start of the stream. So it's going to be a pleasure, and I'm excited to see all the runs.
And just as we're saying that, here goes Cameron Mustard for his first buy run here. Ready to send it in. Big initiation. Look at that. Fantastic job on that outside wide line. This is exactly what we want to see. Those judges watching that inside clip, making sure nobody drops a tire over the inside of it through the decel zone. Now Cameron Mustard doing a fantastic job giving us the lay of the land here at SVDS round 5. This layout, definitely one of our more simple ones, but the best part about simple layouts is that the driving gets even crazier. And if you thought it couldn't get any crazier, I'm going to tell you, you're probably wrong. Cameron Mustard doing a fantastic job in his first buy run here. I believe up next we will have, I believe we're going to have Barna Pagazdi, who is doing as well, who is doing a buy run as well. Cannot wait to see what he does here. Barna, beautiful driver here. He's lined up at the line. Yeah, definitely a fantastic job by Cameron Mustard. Love to see these high qualifying drivers come out and get a shot to move on nice and quick, because that's always a really good thing here. Here we go, Barna. Look at this big initiation, nicely done as he comes around that first outside zone, flying around the track, and yet another different car. Fantastic job here coming into this outside zone. Transitioning now as he's doing a fantastic job around this entire course. I mean, like I said, again, the layout is pretty simple, but that's the thing, is that it's going to create some really good battles. Brandon, what are you feeling like?
Honestly, this layout's very, very iconic. As a lot of people might know, in Driftland, this is the famous BDC layout that has been around for years. It is probably the most known layout, both IRL and in the sim.
Absolutely,
so, yeah.
And because it's so well known, it gives the drivers the opportunity to kind of go in with a certain freshness, as we see Daniel Andreev, always fresh, always aggressive as he sends it in. Big initiation, firing it down the hill. Look at the absolute speed that S15 is carrying, Brandon.
Oh my god. This is it's Andreev, ain't it? This is
Absolutely. This is Daniel Andreev and his IRT S15. This thing is always super quick as it fires it up the hill and finishing out that run. Man, I mean, we don't have speed traps on the track, but I feel like we should at least have one just to see what kind of speeds these guys are pulling, flying down that hill. Definitely one of the faster corners of the season, you know, with having to stretch it from the initiation all the way down the hill. You've got the combined momentum of the car pushing itself forward and the downhill momentum. So these cars are moving super quick. That's why that decel zone is quite necessary to get exactly right. Up next, though, is Marcel Studzinski doing his buy run, going into the initiation. Nice and aggressive here with Marcel Studzinski flying down the hill. I don't think he's quite as fast as Daniel Andreev was, but looking absolutely smooth and fantastic. Marcel Studzinski, definitely one of our better drivers of this series. I'm not sure if he's in points contention for the championship this round, but has definitely still made a name for himself. Absolutely. But I believe that concludes all the buy runs we have for today. So Brandon, as recently as we introduced you, I think it's your turn to go on and head down there, because I believe you're up against Christoph Rasa.
I will see you guys soon.
Alrighty. And as the Discord noise goes and you can hear him leave the call, I'm left on my own to commentate what's possibly going to be a really good battle. Brandon Carter and Christoph Rasa. Both of these guys, fantastic drivers. You all know Brandon. You just heard him. Absolutely excited to see how he does. You know, he's had a little bit of worse for luck when it comes to some qualifying scores, but he's definitely fought hard to get himself into this round, and I imagine this battle is going to be no different. Brandon Carter, Christoph Rasa. I believe Brandon is to lead first. It's a little hard to tell with the camera so far away, but we'll be able to get them going here as we fire it up through the start chicane here. You'll see the lights go green, the lights will go red, the lights go green, and that's when they're clear to send. Rise, our beautiful start marshal and series owner. Couldn't be doing this without him. Absolutely awesome to have him coordinating, so to speak. Here we go. Brandon Carter to lead in Christoph Rasa. Big initiation from Brandon Carter. A little bit of a hiccup there, but Rasa taking full advantage and getting right up on the door of that S13. Brandon, though, look at that lead run from him, getting nice and wide, adding on the angle, coming through this outside clip. Rasa doing a beautiful job, putting that A90 Super right on the door of that S13 and pushing him up across the finish line. What a battle so far. Brandon Carter, that S13, just an absolutely phenomenal driver in that lead position. But I know that he's definitely complained to me a couple of times about keeping pace in that chase position. So let's hope he didn't roast off those tires too badly, and he'll be able to keep up with the absolute fury that is Christoph Rasa. I know that A90 Supra is quite quick. It's been awesome to see him come at it and go at it this season. So here we go. Out of the start chicane goes Christoph Rasa with Brandon Carter to chase him in. Brandon staying nice and close. Exactly what we want to see. What a lunge from Brandon Carter, but oh, I think it ended in disaster. Camera hasn't just quite changed for us yet, but oh no, that might have been some contact from Brandon Carter. We'll have to go over a replay here and see what happened. Brandon Carter, Christoph Rasa, that is unfortunate. Let's see him enter in. Brandon Carter lunges in hard, and it looks like, yeah, that might have been the cause. Rasa going way deep, putting that tire into the dirt, and that seals the deal here. If you guys know Driftland, you put a tire in that dirt and it is all over, my friend. Here's another angle of it, a little bit harder to see, but they're sending it in. Oh, this is the lead run. This is the first half of the run. Just giving you guys something to watch while we wait for the judges to decide. I mean, it's definitely going to be an interesting call for sure. I mean, I believe that there is a slight decel on the initiation just to let drivers rotate their cars in and get their cars settled. So if Brandon hit him during that decel zone, then it's most definitely going to seal the deal, and it's going to be unfortunate. But hey, the best part about this battle is that if Brandon does lose, we'll have him right here in the booth to tell us what happened. So here we go. Swiping right for Christoph Rasa, and before I could even say it, Christoph Rasa takes the win. Brandon, baby, what happened?
I threw it too hard. I threw it way too hard. It's a very tricky initiation as a chase driver, because obviously in the lead you do have a lot of people that tend to slow up there to then get the right line, and I just didn't tend to think about that. But I had a compliment. So
unfortunate to see, but moving on immediately, Danielis Perengauskis in the lead. Eric Linkfist in the chase, but Linkfist unfortunately not quite having the pace in that R32 GTR. Unfortunately, Danielis Perengauskis doing a fantastic job. That BMW is always hooked up, always super fast. But there's Eric Linkfist putting the pressure on. A little too late, though, I'd say, is definitely the advantage. I'd imagine is leaning towards Danielis Perengauskis. Just a super fast driver. All those IRT guys, super hooked up. Always enjoyable to watch, but also a little bit sad to see when they're pulling away from everybody. You know, Eric Linkfist definitely, unfortunately, got caught off guard by that, which is unfortunate. You know, if we had live spotters, they'd be able to tell him, hey, you know what, you know these guys are fast, go quick. But sometimes it's hard to do that with stream delay and all the other factors in. But here we go, Eric Lindqvist doing a fantastic job of the initiation, but Danielis Perengauskis showing exactly the speed of that BMW, putting it right on the door of that R32, losing him a little bit as Eric Lindqvist go deep. Goes 2 tires deep over the white line, not where the judges want to see him at all, but Danielis Perengauskis says, no biggie, sticks it right to the door anyways, finishing out that battle strong. And we'll take it over to the judges here to see who takes the win in this top 32 battle. Danielis Perengauskis doing a fantastic job in the lead. Brandon, what do you think so far of this battle?
It's unfortunate for Eric, but obviously the IRT guys, they are just robotic. And that's just, in practice, that F22 is extremely fast. That is not a car to be taken lightly.
Absolutely, but here we go. Swiping left for Danielis, swiping right for Eric Linkfist, Rise, Artix, and Tyre. Here we go. That's 1, 2, and 3. Danielis Perengauskis gets the win and gets to move on to that top 16 spot.
Well done, Eric. That was a... he put up a fight, though. He did not stop. And it's nice to see that, even against someone with a much faster car, you're still trying.
Speaking of putting up a fight, here comes Joe Valla, one of our underdogs this season, kind of an unknown coming into this season, but I think he's made a name for himself for sure. Joe Valla, definitely a very talented driver and knows exactly when to put in the effort he needs to. Joe Valla in that super cool looking street style S13 with, I guess, just enough power and enough grip to keep up with some of the greats, and he's definitely going to have to use it here as he goes up against Ernestus Jacoubelis. Both of these guys, super talented drivers. Let's see how they do. Ernestus sending it in. Ooh, taking that gap sauce on Joe Valla, but Joe not backing down whatsoever, takes that shallow line, gets back up under the door, and we'll go through this decel zone here, lunging up. Joe Valla all over the side of that S14 now as he comes to the second section of the course. Ernestus Jacoblis, though, just not absolutely giving him an inch with that lead run. Just a fantastic showing of speed from that S14. Ernestus Jacoblis, fantastic job there. Joe Valla now, though, will be in the lead. Brandon, what are you thinking so far about this battle?
This is wow. This is a classic case of David versus Goliath. Definitely.
Absolutely, the smaller guys going up against the bigger guys. Joe Valla, let's see what he can do with the lead. Actually pulling a bit of a gap on Ernestus himself. But, oh, a little bit of contact, it looks like, as Ernestus gets too deep into the door. Was it Joe Valla decelling, or was it Ernestus getting a little too aggressive? Who knows? That camera was a little bit far away for us to see here up in the booth, but Joe Valla doing a fantastic job in that lead position. Ernestus, though, putting on a fantastic chase. Just what a battle, moving nice and smoothly through our top 32 here as we go over to the side by side here. Brandon, what are your thoughts on the battle?
Well, it's just the case. Oh, I have no words, because the amount of driving that is incredible in this series. It's the whole season has been insane, battle to battle. Even in qualifying, people have been doing so well. And Joe Valla, obviously, he's a newcomer to this season, and seeing him progress throughout the whole set of rounds, going against Jacoblis so early is definitely not the easiest. So, hats off to him. Definitely. Absolutely.
What are your thoughts on the contact? It was a little hard to see, but maybe you caught something that I didn't. What did it look like to you there, Brandon?
Well, let's just have this come back through, because my memory is not the best. So here it comes.
Oh, it kind of happens behind the hill there.
I think so. From what I can see, it's kind of just Joe Valla maybe checked up on the angle a bit to try and stop himself from running away from the clip, and it might have slowed him down maybe, or Jacoblis might have just surged a bit too quick, a bit too much for what he thought. So we'll have to see what the judges think of that one.
Absolutely, and it's a little bit hard for us to see, but you know who it isn't hard for it to see is our three beautiful judges. They're both, they're all poring over the footage, obviously, right now, and making themselves a decision that should make everybody happy and keep everything fair. They'll be looking at Joe Valla and Ernestus Jacoblis, making sure that contact happened in a way that they'll be able to tell who was at fault, and they'll be able to call a winner. Looks like we're going to go over to the judges screen here in a moment. And here we go. Swiping left for Ernestus, swiping right for Joe. And before I can say that, they stayed right in the middle. They're going at it one more time. Ernestus Jacoblis and Joe Valla. These guys, absolutely fantastic drivers. And hey, you know what? Maybe that first mistake, maybe those first couple of mistakes were getting caught off guard. Now they're really settled in there. They should have the practice. They should have the sillies shaken out, so to speak, with Ernestus Jacoblis to take that lead lane once more. Joe Valla here in the chase. Let's see how they do. The start chicane.
I do think that Joe's the kind of driver that will get that as he does more battles. So
absolutely, and here's hoping that this will prove true. Here we go, Joe Valla, a lot closer than last time, but taking that shallower line, trying to stick it up onto the door of that S14, manages to find the proximity, coming through the decel zone, though he puts it right there, up on the side of Ernestus Jacoblis, but Ernestus not backing down, throwing down one hell of a lead run. Ooh, Joe Valla angling up a little bit. It's going to cost him a bit of momentum going up the hill and over that line as Ernestus Jacoblis and Joe Valla. Definitely an interesting battle so far. We'll have to see how they do on the flip side as they line back up. Joe Valla in the lead position and Ernestus in the chase. Here we go. The lights will go red, the lights will go green, and you'll see Rise send them for the second half of the battle. Here we go. Joe Valla in the lead, Ernestus Jacoblis in the chase.
The question is, will Ernestus be taken down in top 32? Because that is points. That is point contention.
Absolutely. Here we go. Joe Valla in the lead position. Beautiful initiation. Ernestus taking a shallower angle approach, trying to keep up on the door of that 240 SX. Definitely don't want to underestimate the speed of it this time. Joe Valla looking fantastic in the lead position, though, putting those tires right where they need to be, even though you can barely see him with the smoke there. Look at that. Ernestus all over the side of that 240, finishing it out. just absolute perfection in the chase position. Ernesto's definitely a very seasoned driver compared to Joe Valla, but don't count Joe out. As you can see through the side-by-side, he's definitely putting up one hell of a fight. Brandon, what do you think?
So I told you he'd get more comfortable the more he drove, and you just can't. Throughout the whole season, Ernestus has always been so consistent in chase, and his lead driving is also led by example as well. Joe Valla definitely putting on the pressure, and hopefully we can see, we might see a bit of heartbreak. You never know, but it's the sport of drifting. Everything's unpredictable.
Absolutely, and we'll take it over our judges screen here in a moment just to see how the judges decide, because this is definitely going to be a close one. I'd say Ernesto's definitely a bit more poised in the chase, but I don't know, Joe Valla had that lead run down. Definitely going to be an interesting call for sure. Lead for lead, chase for chase. Joe Valla still putting in an aggressive fight in the chase position, but right here, this is his mistake. He angles up, has to check up, and then loses that momentum going up the hill, trying to gain it back, but it's just not enough to catch back up to the absolute force that is Ernestus Jacoubelis.
Yes. So if you look here, just the surge from Ernestus, especially when it comes in towards the decel, he just gets that door, gets where he needs to be, and he's like, no, Joe, I'm not letting you go. You're staying with me.
Absolutely. And here we go. Swiping left for Ernestus, swiping right for Joe Valla. Rise, Arctic's Tire. What are they going to decide? That's 1, 2, and 3. Ernestus Jacoubelis moves on to our top 16, and unfortunately for Joe Valla, that is the end of his season, which is unfortunate. You know, would have liked to see him go a little bit farther, but, you know, he still put up an OMT fight with Ernestus Jacoubelis, one of the giants of the series for sure. Next up, we have Darius Ostrika and Alex O'Hara.
Oh, this one I'm excited for, just because he's been your co-commentator throughout the past 2 seasons. So it'll be interesting to see Alex out there on the grid himself, actually competing and to show off his talent, because he is not a bad driver in any respect. He has got talent.
Absolutely not. Darius Ostrika, though. Absolutely. No, not to sleep on Darius Ostrika either. Darius Ostrika, a fantastic driver, definitely proving to be one of the giants of the series as well. You know, definitely a mountain to climb, Brandon, so to speak. Really? Alex O'Hara. Really? Alex O'Hara, though, once again, our co-commentator for the series, taking his chance and throwing his hat in the ring for this last round. Might as well, right? He's been here since the start. Might as well get a lap of driving in. So we brought Brandon up here. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a short break while we load in this next group of drivers. Stay tuned with us because it only gets more exciting from here. Top 32 when we come back.
Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two forward cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two forward cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on.
girl tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Thank you for sticking through with us through that ad break. A Scottish Virtual Drift Series returns here. Top 32. We move on with our first battle of this group, which is going to be the great Alex O'Hara versus Darius Ostraka. These guys, absolutely fantastic drivers. Darius Ostraka, definitely one of the heavier hitters of the series, but Alex O'Hara, our commentator, about to strut his stuff and show what he can do, not in the booth, but in the driver's seat. Here we go. We're getting ready to send him any moment. Darius Ostraka and Alex O'Hara. Here we go. Darius in the lead position. Alex in the chase. Alex ready to send it into the chase position. There we go. Darius Ostraka doing a fantastic job in the lead, but look at Alex O'Hara all over the side of that S15.
Come on, Alex.
Beautiful job that that BRZ fronted end of that A90 Supra, just absolutely looking incredible as it flies around, putting it on the pressure on the door of Darius Ostraka. What a chase run from Alex O'Hara. We told you, you know, he's not just good with his mouth, he's good with his hands too, ladies. Alex O'Hara ready to Alex O'Hara ready to go for his lead run. Will it be as good as his chase run? We'll have to see. But Darius Ostraka now knows that he's got a fight to go up against. So Darius definitely going to push as hard as he wants to in the chase here. Will it be enough, though? Only time will tell. Here we go. Alex O'Hara, big initiation. Nice going down the hill, nice and fast. With Darius Ostraka putting on that pressure. Coming to the decel zone. Ooh, noses up, backs off just a little bit. Alex O'Hara, though, doing a fantastic job in the lead position. Oh, big snap to angle from Alex O'Hara, and he holds it, too. Going up the hill, though, Darius Ostraka takes every advantage of it and keeps it on the door of that A90 Supra. Just absolutely fantastic battle so far. Going into the side-by-side, Brandon, what do you think about this battle so far?
That is just wow. To start with, you've got to give it to Darius for being able to keep up with that snappy transition that Alex did into the last sweeper. That was just insane. The amount of car control that must take to do, like, I personally wouldn't have been able to hold up with that. And Alex, insane driving. This, having the season 1 champion with our commentator, it's a beautiful thing. It's a very, very beautiful thing.
Kind of surreal too to think about. I mean, we have our first season winner going up against our commentator. Like,
It's,
you know, two staples of the series for definitely different reasons.
Both the driver and the voice of SVDS.
Oh man, absolutely. Although, you know, I would hazard an argument that Darius Ostreka is not the driver of SVDS. You know who that would be, and I might be a tad bit biased, but I would pick Cameron Mustard as our driver of the series. Being a Scottish man himself and having some wins under his belt, I'd go with Cameron Mustard for sure.
He has definitely got the talent. He's got the beans. He has got everything set up to win this series for this season. Definitely.
Absolutely, but it's definitely going to be a hard fight being just inside that top 4 position. You know, Cameron Mustard's got one hell of a fight to win a championship this event. But hey, he's already got a bye run. He's already in the top 16, so who knows what will happen. But here, look at this battle, man. This is just absolutely fantastic to watch. The amount of proximity these guys can get in the sim is crazy. Maybe a little bit more than real life can sometimes. I mean, we don't exactly have tire colliders for when you tap doors. I mean, that does disrupt vehicles in real life. But here we go. Swipe him left for Darius Ostreka. Swipe him right for Alex O'Hara. Which one is it gonna be? 1, 2, and 3. Darius Ostreka takes the win unanimously. Unfortunately for Alex O'Hara, his hopes for this round do end in the top 32, but hey, nothing to sneeze at. That man definitely put up one hell of a fight. But hey, you know what else is going to be a great fight? Josh Byrne versus Vitaly Isev. Vitaly Isev definitely proving himself to be a fantastic driver. I think being new this series, but definitely not driving like he's new for sure. The guy's driving like he's been doing it for years. Vitaly Isev and Josh Byrne.
It's definitely nice to see someone running one of the SVDS car pack cars in competition.
For sure, Josh Byrne definitely out here just having a good time here, but Vitaly Isev, that A80 Supra, definitely a bit more dialed in, I'd imagine, than one of the car pack cars. But here we go, Josh Byrne ready to send it in right there on the door, lunging up onto Vitaly Isev, who unfortunately it works a little bit against him as he falls back quite a bit. Vitaly Isev doing a fantastic job in the lead position so far, giving Josh Byrne every opportunity, but Josh just not quite seeming to be able to grasp it as he tries to push up, finds the proximity going up the hill, but will it be enough, Brandon?
That is a great run from both drivers. Just a shame that Josh had to shallow up on the track itself, on the line, to try and keep up a bit. But hopefully he can bring it back into the lead and try and show Vitaly, yeah, I'm not done. I'm willing to go all the way.
Absolutely. Josh Byrne definitely wanted to put up a fight here. As the light goes green, he takes off out of that start chicane. Vitaly Isev in that A80 Supra ready to follow him in. Here we go. Josh Byrne, big initiation as he goes into that outside zone, flying down the hill. But Vitaly Isev matching the speed with no effort, it seems. That A80 Supra always incredibly hooked up. But Josh Byrne here doing a fantastic job going into these outside clips and firing up the hill. Vitaly Isev, he went in for that big dive, and it worked out for him as he keeps that proximity going up the hill. We'll take it over to our judges here in a moment, but looking at the side-by-side, man, what a battle this has been. Unfortunate for Josh Byrne in that chase position, falling back quite a bit, dropping those tires on the inside of that inside clip. And looks like we're going to take it over to the judges here as we have a decision already. We switch over here. We're going to swipe him left for Vitaly Isev, swipe him right for Josh Byrne. Here we go. Rise, Arctics, and Tire. 1, 2, and 3. It's unanimous. Vitaly Isev gets the win, and Josh Byrne will be packing it up and heading home for this season. He's going to have to return the keys to our main office up front and park the car back in our local garages here. And unfortunately, might have to call a cab home, but... You know, as he is driving a borrowed car. But next up, we have Zakhar Pavlovsky and Marcus Walsh James.
There we go, down the straight.
Here we go. Zakhar Pavlovsky ready to lead him in. Look at that big initiation with Marcus just trying to follow him in here. That RB-powered S15. Definitely an interesting choice. These things can be quick, but you have to know what you're doing with them. You're not gonna know how to drive them. Look at that. Falls out of boost. Classic RB problems, unfortunately, for Marcus there. As Zakhar Pavlovsky finishes up the run strong. Unfortunately, it's going to be a 0 under the belt of Marcus there for that first run. Quite unfortunate. You know, you always hate to see an RB car performing badly because it just continues to put a bad name on our RBs, quite literal. And Zakhar Pavlovsky will be chasing in Marcus here as Marcus tries to send it for a lead run. Let's see if he can handle it. Here we go. Big initiation right there on that outside wide line. Zakhar trying to stick it to the door of that S15. Look at that, nosing in across the inside clip. Marcus doing a fantastic job in the lead position so far. It's definitely a far cry from what happened in the chase run. He's doing a great job here as Marcus is just doing a fantastic. Oh, but just as I say it, he angled up too much, possibly contact from Zakhar, and then has to pull some angle out of it to make it up the hill. Definitely unfortunate for him. The judges will be taking a nicer, closer look at that. But Brandon, what do you think as we come towards that moment again?
So going into the chase, Zakhar definitely dialed off angle there, going through the chicane. But then I've noticed that with a lot of the drivers. But when you mentioned contact in that section, could it have been that he was coming off? He might have clutch kicked it at the wrong time, and it could have just stalled the engine a bit and straightened him up.
That's possible here, but look at Marcus as well. Watch as he comes through this transition. He comes in nice and aggressive, goes for that transition, and look how much angle he's trying to carry. Big angle as the car's rotating, and it just looks like he doesn't have enough momentum to make it up the hill, I believe. If I was looking at it in the judge's perspective, that definitely at first glance looks like Zakhar just kind of had nowhere to go, as that angle up from Marcus caused that car to slow down quite a bit. You know, if you watch it there. But I mean, this is the first run here. Here's the mistake that Marcus made in that first run, unfortunately, letting that boost die out, and the car just didn't want to keep those tires spinning. I wonder what gear he was in. Probably definitely alrighty, here we go. We're going to be taking to the judges screen, and it's going to be a one more time between Zakhar Pavlovsky and Marcus Walsh James. Going to be interesting for sure. We're going to take a look at take a look at that. Take a look at this battle one more time. Here we go. Zakhar Pavlovsky in the lead position. Marcus Walsh James in the chase. And here we go. Lights go red, lights go green, and these guys are going to take off out of that start chicane. Zakhar Pavlovsky to lead in Marcus Walsh.
Let's hope Zakhar can keep it going, as his earlier season victory, I think it was mid-season, definitely put him on the map with us. So let's see.
Let's see if he can do it again. Zakhar sending it in down the hill. Beautiful job of that line. Here we go. Marcus not wanting to make that same mistake twice, puts in the aggression, staying with him. Look at that, keeping that RB lid off as he transitions, putting it right there in the pocket. Will he push on the proximity? It looks like he just can't quite seem to find the pace.
Definitely. Zakhar's definitely not a slow driver, that's for sure. That AA Supra, popular choice. Very fast car. So
absolutely, for a reason, it seems, as it's definitely a popular choice. I mean, it's definitely quick for sure. It seems to be the reason there's such a popular choice. But here we go. Marcus Walsh James to lead in Zakhar here as they transition. Look at that initiation, flying down the hill. Ooh, Zakhar doesn't quite have the proximity to that first section of the course. Marcus, though, doing a pretty decent job through this section, transitioning towards the last part of the course here. Marcus running away in that RB, but Zakhar finds that speed and pushes it up onto the door of that S15 to finish out the run. What a run from both of these guys. Absolutely a interesting battle nonetheless here. Brandon, what are we thinking?
Oh, he tamed the RB. He tamed it. Zakhar definitely putting in the work though, so both drivers absolutely on it. Just a shame about the little the gap in the chase for Zakhar at the start of the run, but he obviously was able to reel it back. So let's see how that kind of goes with the judges.
And here we go. Swipe him left for Zakhar, swipe him right for Marcus. What are the judges going to say? Rise, Arctics, and Tyre. Oh, it's going to be Zakhar Pavlovsky winning this battle and moving on to the top 16. Unfortunate for Marcus Walsh, James is going to have to return the keys to that borrowed car and head home for the season, but we hope to see him next season. Next up, I believe we're going to go to an ad break as we're going to do a server restart and load in our next group of drivers. So ladies and gentlemen, top 32 only gets more exciting. Stay tuned after the break.
Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two forward cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two forward cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on.
Girl tonight.
glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, take my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on. Two foreign cars, I make rich look. Irritating.
Just you and me, let's escape, girl, tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us through that ad break. Next up, we have a pretty interesting battle. We have Marco Rourke versus Axel Toplin. Both these guys very interesting drivers. Marco Rourke, a very proving himself to be a heavy hitter, a very strong driver, absolutely. But Axel Toplin, don't count him out. That car may look different, but it is still fast. That I believe that's a Chase ZX.
It is a IS 200.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's so hard to see with the pixelation on the screen, and oh my dear lord, I should have remembered. But hey, you know, it's still an interesting build. IS300. Here we go. Marco Rourke sending it in. Axel Toppla taking a very early initiation, especially considering of how far he is. But Marco Rourke, a fantastic lead run so far as Axel Toppla putting it right on the door with that IS300. Look at that. Absolutely managing to find the pace here, but has to back off a little bit. Marco Rourke, though, taking that advantage and flying up the hill in an 880 Supra. Fantastic job from both of these drivers. And we'll swap them around, get them ready to go for this second battle here. Well, second half of the battle. Axel Toppla, that IS300. Here we go.
Mr. Bling versus Supra.
Absolutely. Marco Rourke, though, absolutely fantastic driver. Let's see how he does in the chase. Axel Toppla hoping to make his top 16 debut. I'm not sure if he's been out of the 32 this season yet, so here we go. Axel Toppla looking for a fight here, sending it as hard as he can out to that initiation. Marco Rourke, though, right there, stuck to the side of a move, falling back just a little bit through that inside clip, but cutting it is out for Axel Toppla. Coming to these outside clips here, Axel doing a fantastic job here through this rest of the course. Marco Rourke, pinpoint perfect in the chase. Look at the pressure as he pushes it up the hill towards the end of the run. Fantastic job from both of these drivers. We take it down to the judges here in a moment to decide who is going to win this. But on the side-by-side, Brandon, what are you thinking so far?
Axel very strong in the lead. Same with Mark. Both really good line drivers. It all comes down into the chase at this point. Noticing that Axel did drop tyres into the last transition a bit, potentially going towards the last zones, but also putting on a lot of pressure to Mark. Mark's actually probably one of my favourite drivers this season so far. His driving has been absolutely incredible. Axel, once again, incredible looking car. He's got so much finesse, so much flair, and it also shows in his driving. He's definitely not one to be slept on.
Absolutely. Axel Toppla putting down one hell of a fight, but will it be enough to take out the absolute contender that is Marco Rourke? It's going to be exciting to see for sure. Judges making a decision, watching the replays as close as they can to decide who is going to win. Will it be Marco Rourke? Will it be Axel Toppla? Or will it be a one more time? You know, Brandon, I feel like I could see the argument for a one more time on this one. I feel like both drivers, you know, definitely pushed hard, but also made some mistakes here and there. So it'll definitely be interesting to see what happens.
Oh, yeah. It could go either way. Oh, here we go.
Speaking of either way, swipe him left for Marco Rourke, swipe him right for Axel Toppla, and here we go. That's 1, 2, and 3 for Marco Rourke taking the win. Unfortunately for Axel Toppla, that will be his cue to take it home for the season. Hopefully we see him next season, but Marco Rourke here ready to go for his top 16. But moving up, we get to move on. Getting to see Owen Magner and Brendan Stacy. Brendan Stacy, a personal favorite of mine in terms of how his car looks. It's absolutely fantastic looking vehicle, that Junk Racing S15. It's going to be awesome to see if he can take it to the top here, but he's got to get through Owen Magner. Definitely a well-known, very talented driver. So here we go, big initiation, but look at that, Brendan Stacy right there on the back end of it. Ooh, loses a bit of that angle, quite a bit of grip as he follows in that R33. Where is he as he comes back into frame there, as Owen Magner doing a fantastic job in the lead position, but Brendan Stacy having a rough go at it here, trying to stick it to the door of that R33, and he manages to find the proximity. Beautiful job towards the end of the run, but will it be enough? Brendan Stacy definitely leaving quite a few cards on the table for that one. With Owen Magner doing a fantastic job in the lead position.
It's
Lots
very
of pace in that R33 for sure. I'm not sure if that thing is still an RB, but it would be very impressive if it was, because the absolute speed on that R33 is impressive, to say the least.
Oh yes, definitely. It's refreshing to see Owen back in the championship as well. Very refreshing, especially with all the IRL driving he's done.
Absolutely cool to see him back, and though he might not be a contender for this time, he's gonna definitely want to shake things up here as he goes up against Brendan Stacy. Ooh, a little bit of a gap being pulled on him as Brendan Stacy has that grip. Absolutely, there's no denying that as it comes out to this outside zone. Owen Magner getting phased a little bit, but contact! Big contact. Brendan Stacy checks up. It looks like maybe just a little bit of angle as Owen Magner comes in at the same time, just a little bit too aggressive. It could have been a shared fault situation there. We'll have to take a look at the replay. Brandon, take us away with this replay here.
Well, it wasn't me climbing the mountain this time, so I'm not complaining. But it's unfortunate for Brendan. just having a little bit of a accident there. So as you can see, it could be that Brendan did slow down a bit too much. He might have decelled in the wrong spot, and potentially it was Owen just not predicting that, and he could have been too aggressive. So it could go. There's so many different variables and factors when it comes to a call like this, and it's not easy to be a judge in this situation. So I do not want to be in their seat.
Absolutely. It's definitely not an easy job the judges have there, as they have to look at these runs and see exactly what happened and try and make a call in a short amount of time. You know, even as we sit here and we wait for a call, it sometimes seems like forever. It is definitely, I can tell you that no matter what we tell the judges, they will probably still feel like it is not enough time, because I'd imagine, you know, that job is definitely super hard, and you know, it's not exactly easy to be like within like 30 seconds to a minute be like, yeah, that guy definitely won. You know, especially when you have situations like this where Brendan Stacey could have slowed down early, but it also could have been Owen getting a little bit too aggressive. It absolutely is a hard call between the two of them.
Definitely. Tell you what, though, both cars look incredible. Especially, I'm a sucker for that R33. I will not lie. I have a little soft spot for them.
Absolutely super cool car to look at. But hey, Brendan Stacey keeping it classic. That S15, that super doof wide body and a lip kit there. Super good looking car as it comes in. Look at that beautiful livery as well. Brendan Stacey hasn't had the best luck this season, I'll tell you that much. Brendan Stacey, definitely one of my favorites to look at, but definitely having a hard go at it when it comes to competition. It just seems like he hasn't quite figured out how much grip that car has. He definitely falls victim to it quite a lot. Definitely one of those cars that likes to drive itself straight quite often. Maybe he'll go compete in some drag racing next season. Then it'll have a shot.
Yeah, that car's very, very gripped up, and from a competition, like as a fellow competitor, he is definitely one that struggles with ping.
And here we go. Swiping left for Owen Magner, swiping right for Brendan Stacey. Unfortunately, we don't have the updated picture for Owen Magner with his new car, but that's fine, because it don't matter what picture it is, as long as the judges side with you and Owen Magner. Moving on to our top 16, which is unfortunate for Brendan Stacey. Would have loved to see him go farther in this last round of competition, but no time to cry over spilled milk as we move right on into Simon Sandman and Ian Johnson. Two very, very talented drivers. Simon Sandman earning the moniker the sensational Simon Sandman, as he's always got the chat hyped. I guarantee you, we head over to the live stream right now, we've got people already cheering for Sandman. Check it out. Look at that. Absolutely love to see all the support for Simon Sandman here. Here we go. Ready for the battle. Simon Sandman to lead him in, into this run.
It's definitely nice to see Simon make it, because we did almost have a moment where he isn't in the best condition. He's not feeling too well, but he just made it to the top 32.
Absolutely cannot wait to see how he does. Sick or not sick, I imagine he's ready to throw down, as Simon Sandman never one to pass up the opportunity for some showmanship. Here we go, Simon Sandman. Ooh, a little bit of contact before the line from Ian Johnson, getting a little bit too close to him as they come around that inside clip. Look at this. Simon Sandman not even in the frame as he's so far ahead. Look at that. Running away with it. It's the sensational Simon Sandman. Ian, I don't know. I'll have to take a look at the replays after this run for sure, because that looked like it could have been Ian just getting a bit too aggressive. We have given the lead driver about half the track to do their flick initiation, so was Ian too close, or was that just a case of Simon putting a bit too much flair on it? Only time will tell here as we take it down to Rise and his light tree. And hopefully we get to see it go here. Seems to still be on, but the sensational Simon Sandman ready to chase in Ian Johnson. We can hear you, Brandon. We can hear you.
Oh no, I said light check. Light check. 1 2 1 2.
Light
it looks illuminated to me.
No, it does.
No.
It looks like it's still on there.
Interesting. That is something that we are having to keep an eye out. The judges have said during briefing for lead drivers to definitely take care and only try to go only halfway across the track, and that is something they're definitely keeping an eye out for.
Absolutely, but here we go. The lights have gone off, which means they're ready to turn on again. 3 red lights and a green light, and these guys will be ready to send it. Rise will send them here any moment. Ian Johnson, Simon Sandman. Here we go.
That's
Here. A little bit awkward moment here, Brandon.
Rise, I think Rise might have fallen asleep.
Popped out his pillow, took a nap there on track. Realized the next battle was coming up.
I mean, I don't know how you could sleep on the track with that kind of noise, even just that idle, that very loud cars.
I mean, to be fair, when you spend so much time at a track like this, the noise starts to become background noise.
Here we go.
Here we go. Ian Johnson in the lead position. Simon Sandman in the chase. Will we get a repeat of last time? Does not look like it. Simon Sandman right there on the door of Ian Johnson, the sensational Simon Sandman. Look at this. Ian Johnson goes a little bit too wide. Has to correct the line, but Simon not phased whatsoever. Ian Johnson is 2 tires wide. Oh, Simon Sandman all over the door of that BMW. Look at this. Finishing out the run strong. The sensational Simon Sandman does it again.
I do think, just from looking at Ian's lead, I think just going through to clip 3, he did drop a tyre, which might have upset his line a bit, and that's why he's ended up having to kind of try and get it back together, and I think that's what's caused him to kind of get those tyres onto that mound. But we'll have to see.
Absolutely not the cleanest pair of runs from Ian Johnson there, but Simon Sandman here definitely proven why he is the sensational Simon Sandman, because he is absolutely putting it down in those runs. Just fantastic job no matter what was sent his way. We'll have to definitely take a look at that contact there, but the judges seem to have already taken a look at it. Swipe him left for Simon Sandman, swipe him right for Ian Johnson. Keep it right in the middle for one more time. That's 1, 2, and 3. Unanimously, Simon Sandman takes the win, and we'll be moving on to the top 16. I believe that was our last driver for this group, so ladies and gentlemen, give us a moment while we cut to some ads and load in our next set of drivers. Stay tuned, because this only gets more exciting.
Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two forward cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two forward cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on.
escape, girl, tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to SVDS Round 5 as we move into our last group of top 32. We've already done Marcel Stutzinski's bye run, so we get to move on straight away to Gert Kubarsep versus Kian Reddy. Two very fantastic drivers, definitely some underdogs of the season, and can't wait to see them go at each other for sure. These guys are going to be some impressive battlers, guaranteed. Gert Kubarsep in the lead in that JZX 100, and Kian Reddy in that A80 Supra. Once again, a popular choice is those A80 Supras. Just about as big as a chaser almost here. As here we go, Gert Kubarsep ready to lead him in. Big initiation, nicely done. That super stylish car looking fantastic. But Kian Reddy not backing down, sticking it right there. Look at that, right up on the side of that JZX 100 as they go around the section of the course. Transitioning, ooh, Kian Reddy gets a little bit caught up behind the back end of that tracer. It's a very big car, very easy to do that. Kian Reddy, unfortunately, just having a bit of a tough time with getting around that back end.
Not an easy one, definitely not an easy one. I think he's just got a bit too close and forgot, oh yeah, I'm against a land barge, I need to get out of the way.
Absolutely. And here we go. Kian Reddy in the lead position. Gert Kubarsep ready to chase him in. Look at that initiation from Gert Kubarsep. A little bit too aggressive as he has to back off quite a bit. Kian Reddy here in the lead position doing a fantastic job, but Gert not backing down. You don't see that he doesn't do the same thing. Transitioning, look at that. Straight there. Wow, what a dive. A little bit of contact, but Kian Reddy stays in it, finishing out the run. Gert Kubarsep, everybody. What a driver, Brandon.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. That's exactly. I know that Gert had. Was it Gert last round where he had a bit of a trouble in his lead? Or was it in chase? I can't remember. Excuse my goldfish memory. But it's nice to see Gert pushing more and more, because that chaser is one beautiful car. Kian, also amazing driver. He's an absolute animal, and he is not one to be slept on either. Both underdogs, like you said. Both runs. Honestly, there was so many deciding, what's the word? Moments where you're close to having a complete change up in the pace of the run.
Absolutely, Brandon. We're looking at this side by side. Look at these runs from both of these guys. Gert Kubarsep, a super stylish driver, but possibly losing out on a bit of the pace with Kian Reddy. But Kian Reddy definitely making some mistakes of his own with that contact in the chase. Definitely going to be interesting to see how that plays out with the judges, for sure.
Tell you what, though, Austin, both Gert and Kian, both really, really good people. Like, their personalities shine as much as their driving. Really kind guys. Oh, and it looks like it goes to Gert. Congratulations.
Gert Kubarsep takes the win, moves on to the top 16, that JZX 100. We will get to see it again, which is always fun. Gert Kubarsep, a fantastic driver, as we get to move on to another incredibly exciting battle. Another driver who I'm not sure, is he in contention for the championship? Anthony Taylor?
Yes, he is. I definitely think he's up there.
Absolutely.
Performing.
He's currently third in the standings. I'm looking at it now here with Anthony Taylor with a very good chance at a championship here. Let's see how he does. Anthony Taylor in that Zone 1 Motorsports BMW as he fires it down the hill with, straightening up is Damian Vega here in that R35. Not quite having the aggression that he wants here, with Anthony Taylor throwing out a beautiful lead line. That E92 just absolutely fantastic. And it's quick too as it goes up the hill, super fast. Love to see Anthony Taylor here. Damian Vega unfortunately making that big mistake in his chase that's going to hurt him, as Anthony Taylor now going to have to figure out how to chase that big GTR R35. Definitely a bigger car than most would want to drive with, but hey, Anthony Taylor's no stranger to big cars. That E92 ready to follow him in. Here we go, firing it down the straight is Damian Vega. Here we go, big initiation right there on that outside wide line, but Anthony Taylor comes in harsh. Was there contact? I'm not sure. Lots of of understeer from Damian Vega. Anthony Taylor nowhere to go. That smoke line possibly smoking him out here as Anthony Taylor trying to keep that proximity, pushing it up where he wants to be. This is definitely an interesting run to judge. It won't be easy for our judges at all. Brandon, what do you say? What do you see as we go into this side-by-side cam?
That's very unfortunate for Damien. I think with just the pure sheer weight and size of a GTR, it's not the easiest car to tame, and it's definitely a challenge on a track as like tight and small and technical as this. Just unfortunate that he had those strains up, and Anthony trying to keep himself not too close but not too far away, so he was still there. It was actually quite a very calculated and smart move from him, so we'll have to see how this goes.
And here we go. Swipe him left for Anthony Taylor. Swipe him right for Damian Vega. And look at that. Anthony Taylor, the championship hopes are still alive. That E92, that Zone 1 Performance Motorsports, or I just said two different words at the same time. That Zone 1 E92 having that shot going into the top 16. Next up, we have one more buy run we didn't get to at the start. Andres Kleinbergs is going to take himself a buy run. So we're going to take a second, chill out, and we're going to let you guys listen to this beautiful vehicle take a lap around the course. Rise, send it.
I think this is another SVDS pack car. I do believe, yes it is, the S15, a very beautifully modeled car. And here we go. Ooh, big wave and straighten. It's unfortunate, but luckily it is just a buy run. Lovely through that chicane. Very nice finish, very nice.
Absolutely
what do you think,
fantastic. Absolutely fantastic job from Andres here. Definitely a very solid run. You know, he had that bit of a mistake there going through that first section of the course, but cleaned it up. And hey, you know what? That's the best part about a buy run, is that it is basically an extra practice run for you to kind of really shake out the sillies and get these cars going, because these aren't easy cars to drive. Very, very aggressive pro cars with lots of grip, so sometimes you even pro guys who drive them have a bit of issues. But that concludes our top 32, which means we do have our top 16 bracket. Looking at it now, it's going to be Cameron Mustard versus Kristaps Rasa to open it up. One hell of a battle already. Danielis Parangauskas versus Ernestas Jakubowicz. That's going to be a mouthful to talk about while it's going. Barna Pagazdi versus Darius Ostreka. Vitaly Isev versus Zakhar Pavlovsky. Moving on as the pixelation continues, it's going to be Daniel Andrea versus Mark O'Rourke, I believe, as well as Owen Magner versus Simon Sandman. Moving on, Marcel Studzinski versus Gert Kubarsep. Definitely going to be an interesting battle, as both of those guys are pretty fantastic. And rounding out the bottom of the top 16 is Anthony Taylor versus Andres Kleinbergs. Definitely an interesting top 16, but ladies and gentlemen, stick with us through these ads and we'll get to see it. Stay with us.
Mini skirt on, take my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, take my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on.
tonight.
Skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on.
skate, girl, tonight.
What a countdown here. We're counting down the amount of people here that we have. We're down to the top 16. This is going to be exciting. Scottish Virtual Drift Series Round 5, our final round of the season, kicking it off with two of the greatest drivers, man, of today so far. We have Cameron Mustard versus Christoph Rasa. Christoph Rasa taking out our lovely Brandon Carter here. How do you feel about that, Brandon?
Cameron, do a thing for me, please.
Absolutely preying on this guy's downfall here as Cameron Mustard prepares for his lead run here. Christoph Rasa going to be in the chase, and here we go. Off the start line here is Cameron Mustard, one of the favorites for the season. Big initiation, nicely done going into that first outside zone. Christoph Rasa going nice and tight to the door. Cameron Mustard right nice tight to the inside clip, coming into these outside zones, wrapping around, dial it on the angle, but Christoph Rasa is all over the door. That R32 GTR as he flies up the hill. Look at that proximity. You know, not many people can keep up with Cameron Mustard, but Christoph Rasa definitely making it look easy.
That was absolutely incredible. He knew what kind of driver Cameron was, and he had to put 110% into that chase.
For sure. Christoph Rasa in the lead position now. Cameron Mustard in the chase. Let's see if Cameron can answer that speed. That R32 ready to get onto the door of that A90 Supra by any means necessary. Here we go. Lights go green. Cameron Mustard chasing Christoph Rasa off the line, firing it out of the gate. There is Christoph Rasa, but Cameron Mustard right there on the door to start with, putting the pressure on as they come through this inside clip. Cameron Mustard not backing down whatsoever. He wants this win. He wants to take it home for the boys back home here. Look at this, putting the pressure onto that A90 Supra. Christoph Rasa throwing out a beautiful lead line, but Cameron Mustard not letting him go. What a run from these drivers. I swear, sometimes you get those finals level battles in the top 16 and it's always a great treat. Brandon, what do you think so far?
Honestly, there's just that oozing talent, man. Kristaps, hats off to you, man. That was incredible driving. He's not a slow driver, to be honest. In practice, he's always been really consistent, really, really good driver. Cameron, obviously, he's an absolute titan when it comes to the sim drifting scene. He's been around for a long time. Me and Cameron actually competed together when I first started out, so it's definitely interesting to see how far he's come.
You know what it is, Brandon? I think Kristaps heard you. I think he heard that you were preying on his downfall, and he was like, you know what? Screw you, Brandon. I'm gonna beat this Mustard guy. Who even is he? You know what? Get some ketchup for this guy too. Oh man, but here we go. Swiping left for Cameron Mustard, swiping right for Christoph Rasa. Who will take the win? That's one judge says Cameron Mustard, two judges, three. It's unanimous. Cameron Mustard keeps the hopes alive for a round win here as he moves on to the top 8, being our first driver to do so of the day. It was very impressive considering that's technically Cameron Mustard's first battle today, having his bye run in the top 32.
I think Cameron heard me as well. I think that's what it was.
Absolutely. Next up, we have a battle that has some serious implications on the championship. Danielis Parangauskas versus Ernestas Jakubowicz. Ernestas currently our front runner for the championship. Now, right now, if Ernestas Jakubowicz makes it out of the gate here, if he makes it out of this battle, then he's got a very good chance at the championship. But if he loses here against Danielis, he's leaving it in the hands of both Anthony Taylor and Mark O'Rourke, I believe. No, not Mark O'Rourke. Who's the second place driver again?
Mark O'Rourke.
It is Mark O'Rourke. It is. You know what? I'm stupid, but here we go. You know who's not stupid are both of these guys. Ernestas Jakubowicz pushing Danielis Parangauskas through the track. I think he heard me talking about him. He's like, no, not a chance am I leaving the championship hopes up. I'm going to get this win. Ernestas Jakubowicz, I believe, you know what would be funny is I think, aren't Darius Ostreka and Ernestas Jakubowicz both on the same team?
Yes, they are.
So how funny would it be if Ernestas Jakubowicz took the win this season and making that 2 of those teams wins in a season in a row here? But Danielis Parangauskas is not going to let it happen easily. Look at that job in the chase position. Absolutely poised onto the door of that S14. Look at this coming through this section of the course. Danielis Parangauskas lunges onto the door of that S14. What a battle. I don't even know if I can pick a winner. Wow, what a run from both of these guys. Now, once again, some serious championship implications here. For Ernestas Jakubowicz does lose here. He's leaving it in the hands of both Mark O'Rourke and Anthony Taylor, who sit second and third in the points respectively. I believe if Ernestas goes out now, Anthony Taylor would have to get second in the event, but Mark O'Rourke, I believe, would only have to get a top 4 finish to secure it, providing Anthony Taylor loses as well. So the points are definitely up in the air right now. Ernestas Jakubowicz, will he win or will he lose? That's up to the judges. They could go one more time looking at it now, but Ernestas, look at that. Just absolutely, just a perfect job in the chase position. Absolutely just pinned on the door of that BMW. But hey, you cannot count out Danielis Parangauskas, as they are both very fantastic drivers.
It is incredible the quality of battles we've got already. This is why I love this series. It's so much. My mind is blank. I can't even talk properly. It's the quality of driving that we get in this series is honestly such an underrated thing, and it's mind-blowing on how much the drivers have been progressing throughout both the first and second season. Just imagine what the kind of battles we're going to get in the third season, man.
Absolutely, Brandon. It's definitely an exciting thing to think about. But hey, man, this is definitely one hell of a battle. Ernestas Jakubowicz once again fighting for championship hopes in this last round here, currently leading the championship with a decent amount of a lead, but Ernestas here definitely up in the air. Who's going to take this battle? Danielis Parangauskas is definitely putting up one hell of a fight, hoping to play spoiler here, and that will be up to the judges at this point. Look at this run here.
It's not an easy call, and I think Ernestas is currently sat in his seat, clenching, praying, and just. I'm rooting for him. I really am, but I just never know. This could be a big moment for the championship.
Absolutely, the points are up in the air when it comes to this battle here. Who is going to take it home? Ernestas Jakubowicz here has a very good shot at it, but if he loses here, he leaves it in the hands of both Mark O'Rourke and Anthony Taylor. This is going to be interesting. Here we go. Swipe him left for Danielis. Swipe him right for Ernestas. Rise, Ardix, and Tyre. That's Rise. Oh, it's going to be a... Oh, Danielis Parangauskas takes the win. It's up in the air, ladies and gentlemen. It's up to Mark O'Rourke and Anthony Taylor to decide if they want this championship bad enough. Keep in mind that Ernestas Jakubowicz is ahead far enough in points that if both Mark O'Rourke and Anthony Taylor lose their top 16 battle, it's still going to be Ernestas's or a win. But Ernestas Jakubowicz just left it in their hands. He's going to be biting his nails all throughout competition. But now it's time we move on to our next battle, which is going to be Barna Pagazdi versus Darius Ostreka. Two very aggressive drivers, and maybe not quite have the same implications on it, but it's still going to be one hell of a battle. Barna Pagazdi to lead in Darius Ostreka. in the top 16.
Here we go.
Here we go. Off the line goes Barna Pagazdi in that beautiful S chassis vehicle. Sending it in, big initiation. Look at that, though. Darius Ostreka not backing down. He says, I'll avenge you, Ernestus. I'll get there. I'll take the win home with me today. And with chases like this, it is sure possible. Darius Ostreka is all over the back end of Barna Pagazdi as they go up the hill. Look at that. Robin Doors all the way up. These guys, absolutely talented and phenomenal drivers. Just incredible to watch them go at it. Darius Ostreka, a monster in the chase, but Barna Pagazdi, no slouch in the lead or the chase. Definitely a fantastic driver himself. Those rotiform wheels shine and bling at us here in the camera. And here we go. Green light goes off. Darius Ostreka in the lead position. Barna Pagazdi in the chase. How is this going to happen? Here we go. Darius Ostreka, big initiation, but Barna lunges up. He sticks it to the door. Look at that. Pushing up through the track. A little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact as Darius Ostreka stays in it, gets through this section of the course, nice and deep into these outside clips. Barna Pagazdi all over the side of him, pushing up the hill. Barna Pagazdi.
They've killed Austin. They've killed Austin.
Me. I'm dying. And scene. Oh.
Hey, you deserve an Emmy for that.
And scene. Yep.
Incredible driving from both Bart and Darius. Both of them have been absolutely on it in practice, and it shows. Like, I can't get over this. The battles are too good, and it's only top 16. It is incredible.
It is round 5 after all, Brandon. Everybody's out there trying to make a name for themselves in this final round of SVDS. And you know, I'm almost shedding a tear over here. It's been a great journey here with Scottish Virtual Drift Series so far, having been brought on. I'm definitely grateful for having been brought on about halfway through season 1 and getting to continue to be your guys' main commentator for this series. It's definitely been a great time, and I appreciate everybody for, you know, just showing their support. It's been awesome to have everybody here and watching SVDS, because I mean, there is no SVDS without you guys, all the viewers back at home watching this happen. We are very, very happy for you guys to be here. Look at this, man. It's just, what a battle between Darius Ostreka and Barna Pagazdi. Just absolutely incredible.
It's almost identical when they're going over the line. It's actually quite scary how similar it is. Oh my word. Barna was definitely the driver I drove with most in practice today, and he is scarily fast in both in lead and in chase. He has got a presence, and then same with Darius. He is just wow. And look at that S15. It is very unique compared to a lot of the S15s I've seen in this series so far, with the pairing of the wheels and the wing, the kit. Just a very clean, nice looking car, and especially the way the wing's mounted, very low down but also quite far back. It's got a very sleek look to it.
Absolutely, very fantastic looking cars here. Both of these guys out here just putting down their own style. That's the best thing about drifting is, you know, it's probably the motorsport with, I'd say, the most self-expression. You know, you have a lot of it in like racing and all that, but like, I mean, the liveries do have to stay pretty simple to show off any sponsors that you have and all that, but drifting guys always seem to have the great style when it comes to balancing how the car looks versus making sponsors happy. So super cool to see how these cars look on track. It's great to see everybody expressing themselves. I mean, I could do with a little bit less expressing yourself in the form of an A80 Supra, but you know, to each their own, I guess.
That's why I like my car. It's so I mean, the only other PS13 on the grid is the Oddvia, which is, I think it's David McKeever, but then same chassis, but we're very unique in the sense because he's got that V8, I've got the 2J, he's got the I can't remember what the livery is. It's a very nice crimson red, the low brain livery. I think it's a replica of a real life car as well, so it's a very, very unique build. And obviously, I've gone very Jap with the low mount wing and the Origin attack line, racing line kit. So once again, uniqueness is the main thing that you see with the cars on this grid.
Absolutely, when even two of the same chassis look so different. It's super cool to see the self-expression in this series, and you know, it's cool to see them drive them this hard. You know, in real life you definitely have a danger of, you know, wrecking your car, but at least in the sim you get to just go as hard as you want, no matter what the cost. Well, I mean, I don't know, maybe if you hit somebody and you break your wheel, that wouldn't be great, but
especially if you're on a DD, your hands are at risk, definitely. I've
fair
learned
enough.
that hard way recently. From
Maybe that's why the US drivers don't do too well. They kind of back off before breaking their wrist because they'll have a $5,000 hospital bill just for turning up and having a doctor look at it.
Ooh, never an easy one. Tell you what though, best example I've seen. Never underestimate a sim driver.
Absolutely not. But here we go. Barna Pagazdi, swipe him left, swipe him right for Darius Ostraka. Let's see who takes the win. That's 1 vote, 2, and will it be? It is unanimous. Darius Ostraka takes the win and moves on to the top 16. And we will be taking it down to the battle of the A80 Supras. Vitaly Isev versus Zakhar Pavlovsky. Definitely going to be an interesting battle. Both of these guys in the same car, so there's no excuses. 2JZ powered A80 Super chassis. These guys both going at it, and it's definitely going to be interesting to see because again, no excuses. You know, this will be right down to the driving and car setup, all of which the driver is responsible for in the sim. So it'll definitely be interesting to see how these guys go at it. I'm partial to Zakhar Pavlovsky just because he's got those Achilles radial on, and I will forever be adamant that those were the best tire to ever grace Formula Drift. So yeah, I'm a little bit biased here, but hey, you know what? We don't matter. We're not judges. So here we go. Vitaly Isev sending it in right there on that outside zone, but Zakhar Pavlovsky will stop backing down. Look at that proximity. He's holding onto the door. Vitaly Isev, he's not letting him go at all. Transitioning, lunging up. This will be where your break is. Look at that dive, and he makes it stick on Vitaly Isev. Absolutely putting up a fight, throwing his hands up. He's duking it out here with Vitaly Isev. He says, listen, you might be a heavy hitter, but watch how hard I can hit too, buddy. Zakhar Pavlovsky, a fantastic job in the chase. Now only time will tell if he can match that performance in the lead. And hey, Vitaly Isev, no slouch in the chase either. We'll see how hard he fights up against Zakhar Pavlovsky here. Here we go, firing down the straightaway. Vitaly Isev going to chase in. Zakhar Pavlovsky immediately lunging in, sticking it to the door. A very good job by Vitaly Isev, but Zakhar Pavlovsky doing a fantastic job in the lead position. Ooh, but just as I say that, possibly drops a little bit of a tire onto that concrete. That might be what decides the battle here as they come in. Vitaly Isev pushing him up the hill and finishing out the run strong are both of these guys. Zakhar Pavlovsky and Vitaly Isev, two very, very talented guys here as they flip it around and go wait for their result here.
That was some textbook driving, Austin. That's incredible. You know what? This at the moment this season, it just reminds me of the Spider-Man meme where they just kind of all stand around pointing at each other. It's like, you're me, no, you're me. Like, we're all the same. Like, so many A80s, but so many different driving styles, which is what makes them shine. Especially with deliveries, that also helps make them pop. And it's just nice to see all of these drivers, even though they share the same chassis, they just make it their own.
Absolutely, it's really cool to see both of these guys go up against each other in very similar chassis, just because it's super nice to see them duke it out driver to driver instead of, you know, maybe one guy having car issues or not quite having the setup right. Like, both of these guys definitely very good experts when it comes to their cars, and it definitely showed here, both of them driving their hearts out, knowing exactly what the other guy is going to do and just doing a fantastic job. Most notably that lunge there from Mr. Zakhar Pavlovsky, just absolutely knowing exactly how to put it and do a fantastic job. Looking at this side-by-side, man, I would not envy the judges in this situation whatsoever. Brandon, what are you thinking?
They are not making it easy for the judges at all. I can just tell that Rise is sitting there. He's got a vein popping on his forehead, just so concentrated and stressed over these calls, because it is just an absolute nightmare with how close they're getting and how well they're mimicking each other. That is the main thing. Their mimicking has been insane today so far. And Zakar, I am a fan. I'm a massive fan of Zakar's driving. He just kind of came out of nowhere into the series, and he's just so explosive. He's doing so well, and I'm so happy.
And here we go, swiping left for Vitaly Isev, swiping right for Zakar Pavlovsky, who is going to take the win here and move on to the top 8. Oh, that's one vote. Oh, and it's not unanimous, but Vitaly Isev moves on to our top 8 to face Darius Ostraka.
I do think that all came down to a little bubble in the lead, potentially, from Zakar, because I did see on his lead going towards the last clip, he did have a little bit of bubble, but then that could have been down to his connection as well. So it could have just been down to the smallest minute detail, which is never the easiest call.
Absolutely, and look at this bracket as we shape up for our first half of the top 8. Cameron Muster versus Danielis Parangauskas, the latter taking out the championship hopeful Ernestus Jakubelis. Danielis having a great battle with him, so that's going to be interesting to see him go against Cameron Mustard. Will he take it all the way? Next up, Darius Ostraka versus Vitaly Isev. Those guys are going to go at it. Both of them fantastic drivers, and definitely some of the robots of the series, so to speak. So it'll be interesting to see who makes the mistake first. But coming up after, I believe, a short break, we'll see Daniel Andrea versus Mark O'Rourke. Stay tuned after these breaks.
Mini skirt on, my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two forward cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two forward cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on. Two forward cars, I make rich look.
Just you and me, let's escape, girl, tonight.
glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, take my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on. Two foreign cars, I make rich look.
Here we go. Top 16 heating up. We bring it in with our second half of Top 16, kicking it off with what is going to be probably one of the best battles of the night. Daniel Andreev versus Marco O'Rourke. Marco O'Rourke's championship hope still in the grasp here. If Marco O'Rourke takes this win, he's got a chance at taking home that championship. So here, I believe Daniel Andreev too sitting in 5th place for the championship, so lots of applications for this one here as they send it in. Big initiation. This is 2nd place versus 5th place in the championship. Daniel Andreev doing a fantastic job in that lead position, but Marco O'Rourke sticking it with him. Look at that. Right there, that proximity. You couldn't fit a piece of paper in between them as Marco O'Rourke lunges up towards the end of the run, pushing him up the hill, not letting Daniel Andreev go, as he knows that Daniel Andreev is a very aggressive and phenomenal driver. So Marco O'Rourke bringing out every trick in the toolbox to try and take down the great here.
Remember how I mentioned about mimicking? That was textbook. Let's see how Andreev can respond to that.
Absolutely. Here we go. Marco O'Rourke to take the lead now. Daniel Andreev to chase him in here. Big initiation. Nicely done by Marco O'Rourke. Daniel Andreev with a little bit straighter of an approach, trying to stick it onto the door of that A80 Supra. And he is. Look at that little bit of a contact there as they go into this next section of the course. Maybe possibly pushing Marco O'Rourke a little bit wide there as they come around the end. Daniel Andreev putting it right where he needs to be. Wow. Finishing out the run. Beautiful job from Daniel Andreev and Marco O'Rourke.
Textbook driver from both of these boys. Marco O'Rourke in his chase, that mimicking was just gorgeous. I just can't put it into words how nice that was. Daniel Andreev also putting the pressure on, just an absolute legend. Obviously he does compete in VDC as well, so it's an interesting perspective to see that style of driving come over to here where it's a bit more tight and technical.
Absolutely awesome to see these guys go at it. I love Driftland for being such a small course to let these big pro cars play on. You know, it's like putting a bunch of teenagers on like a play park. You know, it's like they'll figure out their own way to play on it. You know, like little kids obviously like play on it like you're supposed to, but like you have a bunch of teenagers out there and they're gonna figure out a way to climb onto the roof of it. One of them's probably gonna figure out a way to jump off of it in a fun way. Like, you know, it's nice to see these big pro cars come out here and figure out a way to stretch their legs on just such a small course, you know?
Yeah. It's well, from experience, I mean, I'm running about 1,100 horsepower, and it is quite scary as a driver sometimes to be on this track, especially on this layout when you're going through this first main sweeper from clip 1 all the way up to clip 6. It is very, very fast, and sometimes you can catch yourself off guard, and it can, as you've seen, it can send you up hills, in my experience. So you've got to be really on it. It's a battle of attrition. It's a battle of the mind and making sure that you are completely and utterly focused at all moments on this track. But it's where it separates the boys to men. That's for sure.
Boys to Men. I had their album at one point. And here we go. Swiping left for Daniel Andreev, swiping right for Marco O'Rourke. What's it gonna be? Rise, Arctics, and Tyre. And here we go. Look at that. Daniel Andreev gets to move on to our top 8, being the first, well, not the first driver, but the first driver of this second half of top 16 to do so. Moving on, though, we have quite an interesting battle. Owen Magner versus Simon Sandman.
This one I'm excited for. Obviously, both amazing drivers. And Owen Magner just coming out from a season of IDC in real life. So he has been doing extremely well in his real PS13. So it is really nice to see him back and showing what he can do in the sim. And he's going against Simon Sandman, which is an insane driver. He's both so talented, and I am very, very excited to see how this goes.
Absolutely, the sensational Simon Sandman to go up against Owen Magner, a sim veteran versus a real-life veteran. Definitely going to be interesting to see how these guys handle the battle against each other. Owen Magner and Simon Sandman, here we go. Off the line here goes Owen Magner in that lead position. The sensational Simon Sandman to chase him in. Where are my Simon Sandman fans? Look at this as he lunges right up under the door of that R33. Owen Magner in that lead position doing a great job, but Simon Sandman not backing down whatsoever. Ooh, a little bit of door rubbing, but Owen Magner keeps it online. Simon Sandman just all over him. Look at that lunge going through that transition. Look at him pushing him up the hill, and a fantastic job from Simon Sandman. We absolutely love to see it, Brandon.
That was incredible. He's just like my favorite Metallica song, Enter Sandman. Come on, like he's so close. I would hate to be the one to be receiving that in the lead.
Absolutely, but here we go. Owen Magner is going to chase in Simon Sandman for the second half of the battle. How will Owen Magner be able to compare? Will the IRL experience take him ahead here, or will Simon Sandman be able to take that pinpoint accuracy all the way to the top? But here we go. Simon Sandman in the lead position. A beautiful initiation with Owen Magner lunging up, sticking on him. Look at that. Being just as aggressive. Owen Magner putting it right into the door of that S15. Simon Sandman, beautiful job as he comes around those outside clips. Owen Magner, fantastic through this section of the course. Look at that, taking a bit of a shallower approach, but he's getting right in there on the proximity. What a fantastic battle. Let's take them side by side. Brandon, what are your thoughts?
Incredible driving from both drivers as always. It's once again just another insanely good battle with two talented drivers. Owen Magner definitely putting on the pressure, showing that he's not down. He's just because he's been away from the sim scene doesn't mean he has gone rusty. He is definitely just as aggressive as he was in season 1. It's nice to see a Hardstyle member back, but Simon Sandman in that chase just absolutely pinpoint on that door, wheel to wheel, and just rubbing that car. It's just incredible to watch, and it's quite a pleasure as a driver to sit back and just be able to watch all of this myself.
Absolutely super cool to see the part of the competition that you never get to see, Brandon. We love jabbing at each other here in the booth. We love it. Brandon, one of my homies, him and I have known each other for a while now here on the sim. It's super cool to have you up in the booth here, Brandon.
Thank you very much. You're going to make me cry though with these jabs, man. It's getting a bit too personal.
We're out here. We are absolutely out here waiting for the judges' call between Simon Sandman and Owen Magner. If you're still tuned in with us, thank you very much for sticking with us so far. I promise you it only gets more exciting. But hey, while we wait for this call from the judges, why don't we talk about some of our sponsors of the series? Ladies and gentlemen, one of the biggest sponsors of the series is our very own Mclellan Motorsport. Stu in his E36 definitely pushing to make that thing better every day. Super cool to see it go around. It's that lovely green and pink E36 that you guys see in our ads all the time. Mclellan Motorsport, a great shop that deals with building some really cool cars. Not to mention the fact that the track that we're competing on, we've been given license to use it in its sim counterpart by the official Driftland themselves. Rise, a staff member there at Driftland, managed to work that out, and Driftland definitely one of the biggest partners of the series. Without them, we wouldn't have a track. So we have a decision from our judges, and we will be taking it over to the screen now. Let's see. Swiping left for Owen Magner, swiping right for Simon Sandman. Who is is going to take it home. That's one vote for Owen Magner. That's two. And it looks like Owen Magner takes out the sensational Simon Sandman. What a battle from both of these guys, but just edging out over the competition is Owen Magner to make it to the top 8. Next, a very interesting battle, one that I'm very excited to see. Gert Kubarseb going up against Marcel Studzinski. This is going to be an interesting battle here. Marcel Studzinski in that very classic, very well put together S chassis, but Gert Kubarseb in his JZX 100 Chaser, he is definitely going to want to do a fantastic job here. Take one home for the 4 doors. Here we go. Marcel Studzinski in the lead position. Gert Kubarseb in the chase. Look at that initiation. Gert's all over him, pushing that proximity as much as he can, but loses a little bit of ground there as Marcel Studzinski goes through the decel zone. Gert Kubarseb trying to put the proximity on now. Look at that. Takes a bit of a shallower line and manages to find it here as he lunges up. Look at that dive from that massive 4-door vehicle. What a run from Gert Kubarseb, managing to clean it up towards the end of that with Marcel Studzinski. I think still walking away with a little bit of an advantage. Had a really good lead run, hadn't had that gap pulled on Gert pretty early on. But hey, you know what? Only the second half of this battle will tell how the rest of it's going to go. Gert Kubarseb now in the lead position. Marcel Studzinski in the chase. Gert gonna have to pull up here in a moment, and we'll get them going. Here we go. Gert Kubarseb in that JZX 100 to be followed in by Marcel Studzinski in his S15. Look at that initiation from Gert Kubarseb right there on the edge of the course, but Marcel Studzinski is all over him, putting the proximity on as they come through this decel zone. Look at this, through the outside zones. Gert Kubarseb possibly a little bit washing wide there, but it was a little hard to tell here from the booth. Marcel Studzinski, though, putting that pressure on, putting the proximity up onto the door of the Gert Kubarseb as they finish out that run. And what a solid battle it was, Brandon, going over to the side-by-side. What do you think?
Wow, Gert has stepped up from the last battle. He knew he had to push and push and push, and he has shown that in this run. Marcel also really doing the Skuko Drift family. A massive big representation here in that beautiful S15. That chaser, honestly, not the easiest thing to chase when you're doing transitions, so a big thing to watch out for him, but amazing driving from both of them. And it's going to be interesting to see how this goes, because both drivers are quite aggressive in this run.
Absolutely. May not be the most perfect of battles, but the aggression showing, just the absolute dogfight that is going on here, is absolutely super awesome to see. But here we go, swiping left for Marcel Studzinski, swiping right for Gert Kubarseb. Marcel, it looks like he's gonna get the win here. Unfortunately for Gert Kubarseb, that will be the end of his season, but hey, a top 16 finish is nothing to sneeze at, especially for a car that is as untested in this series as that chaser is. Super cool to see him go on, but Marcel Studzinski will be moving on to our top 8. But next up, a battle that could mean anything here for the championship. Anthony Taylor currently sitting 3rd in the points, going up against Andres Kleinbergs. Definitely going to be an interesting battle here. Anthony Taylor, that Zone 1 Motorsports BMW E92 being followed in, but I believe what is one of our car pack cars, isn't that? Yep. That's one of ours, isn't it?
Yep, that is.
Yeah, Andres Kleinberg in one of the SVDS S15 comp cars. Taking that borrowed chassis as far as it'll go, but here we go. Anthony Taylor definitely is a mountain for Andres Kleinbergs to climb. Here we go, big initiation from Anthony Taylor, but Andres, no slouch. He lunges right up there. Look at the aggression from Andres as he's sticking it to that Zone 1 BMW E92. Losing a bit of that angle. He's definitely having to, clean it up a little bit here. Anthony Taylor, though, doing a fantastic job in the lead position as they fire it up the hill. Look at that battle here. Andres, definitely not what we expected from him, especially after his less than spectacular bye run. Definitely not the run that we expected to see from him, but the run that we are happy to have seen from him, absolutely. Andres Kleinbergs, we'll have to see how he fares in the lead position. Anthony Taylor definitely got his work cut out for him here, as Anthony Taylor gets ready to go on. Who will fight Marcel Studzinski in the Great 8? Anthony Taylor gets ready to send it in. Big initiation. Andres Kleinberg's right there on the... Whoa, where'd he go?
Oh, I think he ended up in the gravel trap. Oh no. What happened? Anthony, what did you do?
Definitely not sure what happened there, but Anthony Taylor finishing out his run with Andres Kleinberg nowhere to be seen. We'll have to take a look at the replay. It sucks that we don't have a better camera on the battle here. But here we go. You'll see. Oh,
because it
honestly,
looks like Anthony could. I don't know if Anthony would have made contact. It didn't look like the car was unsettled in any form.
and that's all. And even if he did do it on the initiation, Anthony was as far to the right of that track as he possibly could have been. So I don't know if that's going to be considered not giving enough room, because Anthony was giving all the room he actually could. So definitely going to be an interesting call for sure. We might have to take one of the judges up here after the call is over to explain what exactly happened. But we'll have to take a look here. Who is going to win? If Anthony Taylor wins this, I believe his championship hopes might still be alive. I'm not entirely sure, though, with Mark O'Rourke having also made it to the Great 8. We're not entirely sure, but Anthony Taylor here currently third in points.
Oh, this is
Here we go. Swipe him left for Anthony Taylor. Swipe him right for Andres Kleinbergs. Here we go. Anthony Taylor takes the win, and the championship hopes are still alive for Anthony Taylor.
So I do think what's happened here is Andrews has actually sadly shot himself in the foot by just sending it a little bit too hard into that outside gravel trap. That is a very, very nasty place to be. So it's very unfortunate, but amazing driving in the chase. You have done yourself proud in that.
Absolutely. But here we go. We're going to be taking a look at our bracket to see who has made it into the Great 8 so far. Let's bring that up on the screen here. First up, we have Cameron Mustard versus Danielis Parangauskas. A very exciting battle for when we come back. Darius Ostreka versus Vitaly Isev. Also going to be a great battle. Daniel Andrea versus Owen Magner. And then to round it out, Marcel Studzinski versus Anthony Taylor. What a group of battlers. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're ready for this top 8 just as much as we are, stick around after this ad break. Thank you very much. Stay tuned.
Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two forward cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two forward cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on.
escape, girl, tonight.
Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, take my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on. Two foreign cars, I make rich look. Irritating.
Just you and me, let's escape, girl, tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, things are only heating up. We have some intense battles for you lined up here for your grade 8s. Kicking things off is Cameron Mustard versus Danielis Parangauskas. This is going to be a pretty interesting one. Keep in mind that Cameron Mustard, being 5th place, or 4th place actually, is currently still in contention for this championship, and winning this battle could mean that he goes towards even closer to getting a championship here. Cameron Mustard would be a fan favorite to take it home this season, so it'd be interesting to see him go forward here, but that'll only happen if he can win this battle against Danielis Parangauskas. Here we go, Cameron Mustard into the initiation, nice and wide, but Danielis not letting him go here as he fires it down the course, killing me apparently. Coming into this outside zone, beautiful job from Cameron Mustard as Danielis Parangauskas is putting it right there on the door of that Jap Speed R32, flying up the hill, finishing up the run strong. Brandon, what do you think?
I have no words. Absolute textbook driving from both. Cameron, a strong line driver, and if you've got IRT on your car, you're just clearly gonna slay. Like it just seems to be what is happening here. Incredible chase.
And here we go. Hopefully it gets even more incredible as Danielis Parangauskas leads in Cameron Mustard. Look at that lunge from Cameron Mustard, sticking it right under the door of that IRT BMW. Look at that, taking that tight line right there on the side of it, putting tires on that IRT logo as they come around this outside clip. Cameron Mustard setting up for the transition, lunging in. Look at that, but loses a bit of gravity, drops that angle just like a pro and sticks it on the door of that BMW. What a run from both of them. Oh man, I'm starting to run out of steam here. This is absolutely insane for this final round of Scottish Virtual Drift Series. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're enjoying yourself, let us know in the chat for sure. Throw some emojis up, enjoy yourself, and have a good time.
Honestly, Austin, this is incredible. Cameron had a couple of moments there where I thought he was gonna kind of fall back, but he was not letting that happen. He was gripping onto that wheel and just constantly pounding at the car. Like, no, you are not letting me. You are not taking this from me. I am going. I am making sure I take this. Oh my God! Just look at that.
Now keep in mind once again that if Cameron Mustard wins this, the championship hopes are still alive, but if he loses it at this point, it's not going to happen. So Cameron Mustard, this is a must-win situation for him. So we'll take it over to the judges here in just a moment to figure out who takes the win between Cameron Mustard and Danielis Parangauskas. Both of these guys, absolutely fantastic drivers. It's always a treat watching them go up against each other.
Definitely, Austin. Definitely. See, the one thing I'm having difficulty here with is the pronunciation of some of these names. I'm a bit scared to say them because I don't want to I do not want to slaughter their names, and
we've all been there. Dude, we have all been there, absolutely. I was informed a little while ago that at the start of the season, when I was referring to what was it, Daniel Andreev, I kept saying Daniel Andreev, and you do not pronounce that second J, so I was informed pretty adamantly that the pronunciation is Daniel Andreev.
Yeah, these European names are almost as technical as they're driving. Let's be honest.
Listen, you should have seen me try and pronounce Barna Pagazdi at the start. I almost didn't want to.
It's brilliant. Honestly, I can't imagine. This must be a very, very tough call for the judges, because you've got to think on how much is riding on this call.
Absolutely, a whole driver's championship hopes could be slashed right now with the one decision of a judge. Definitely want to be careful to make the correct one, absolutely.
Oh, Cameron Mustard with that beautiful R32 though. So if no one really knows, that's actually a replica of Matt Carter's Jap Speed R32 in real life, which competed in BDC for a very long time. Very well known in the UK. Very talented driver in real life as well, who owns that. And it doesn't look like that anymore, but it's definitely a unique looking R32 because it is actually not running the full R32 front bumper. I think from what I know is running a half cut bumper, so the top end is an R32 and the bottom end is an R33 from my knowledge. But it's such a unique looking vehicle, and
that's why it looks so much like an R33. I swear, those first couple of rounds that I was watching Cameron Mustard drive, I always thought it was an R33, funny enough. But here we go. Swipe him left for Cameron Mustard, swipe him right for Danielis Parangauskas. That's going to be a one more time from Rise. Arctic says Danielis Parangauskas. And Dyce says one more time. They're going to go at it again. Cameron Mustard and Danielis Parangauskas. Both of these guys, absolutely fantastic. Cannot wait to see them go at it again. Look at them already lining up, ready to go.
Oh, I'm holding my hands behind my head in nerves for Cameron. This is going to be insane. Cameron is also the kind of guy that will push harder and harder the more he battles, and you got to think he's already done that chase against him. He's done the lead. He knows how this guy drives. He is going to put every bit of energy he can into this battle.
Absolutely. When it comes to a one more time, it means the judges couldn't quite tell who won, and they want to see the drivers step it up. So that is exactly what they're going to try and do here. And Cameron Mustard, definitely one of the better guys at stepping it up here, as Cameron Mustard sends it in. Big initiation. Danielis Parangauskas really aggressive, but has to fall back just a little bit to not hit that jab speed R32 of Cameron Mustard. Cameron Mustard doing a fantastic job in this lead position so far. Danielis, a little bit of a slouch here. This is coming into this lunge. Immediately determined to prove me wrong.
Look at that!
Beautiful job in that chase run. What a battle, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm pretty sure he was pushing the edge of that collider on that beautiful R32. He was so close. That was millimeters from disaster, but he kept it.
Absolutely, but here we go, lining up for the second half of the battle. Cameron Mustard versus Danielis Parangauskas. Here we go. Cameron Mustard to chase him in. Look at that lunge! Right at the start, Cameron Mustard all over the side of that IRT BMW, following him in, putting tire marks to that IRT logo. Look at that proximity through that outside zone. Cameron Mustard all over the side of Danielis Parangauskas. He's not letting him go. He is not letting go of his championship hopes. What a run from both of these guys. Brandon, oh my God, I know it's going to be hard, but what do you think, my man?
I can't. Cameron, what are you doing? What are you doing to me, bro? This is, oh my God. I'm a bit biased here towards Cameron just because me and him started off. My sim drifting journey started with Cameron in DCGP, so watching this is just absolutely insane, and the standard of driving has been absolutely wild. Look at those rings. You'd think they're Irish, but they're not. Beautiful rings. I can't really say anything. It's just textbook driving from both of them. I am utterly honestly, I don't think I'm going to be able to actually operate after this event. I'm just going to have to lay down and just be dormant and just be a bit brain dead, to be honest.
I feel you on that one, Brandon. Finishing out these runs, you can't believe it sometimes, man. Cameron Mustard, he knows that his championship hopes are on the line, and he's clearly driving like he knows it. This man absolutely going so hard at it. Cannot wait to see what the judges decide here. You know, looking at it now, I mean, like, I'm not like trying to be a judge or anything, but I mean, like, looking at it now, I think Cameron Mustard actually had more proximity overall in the chase position. I think it'll come down to lead versus lead here.
Yeah,
to see
definitely.
who did the better run. Cameron Mustard just always on it. Always knows what he's got to do. Driftland is his home track. He's here. He's here. He's ready to go, man.
He's willing to get a plaque ready for that wall, isn't he? I could just imagine him just after this event. He's just going to go up to Driftland with a plaque and say, "Mine. This is mine."
He's alrighty. Here we go. The judges taking it over to that screen. Swipe him left for Cameron Mustard. Swipe him right for Danielis Parangauskas.
My heart.
That's
I can't handle
one.
this.
Oh man, that's two. And Danielis Parangauskas takes the win. Cameron Mustard, unfortunately, his championship hopes are over, which leaves us with one driver left in that top three Oh, man.
Unfortunate for Cameron, but that was so amazing to see both of them at their best.
Absolutely.
Congratulations on that win.
One driver left with championship hopes still in sight. Anthony Taylor coming up later in our top 8. He is definitely going to be a little bit more excited about that one. At this point, I believe the situation works out that Anthony Taylor has to get to 2nd place today in order to earn enough points to surpass Ernestus Jakubelis and make it to that 1st place spot. But that's coming later. Darius Ostreka and Vitaly Isev up now. Vitaly Isev, a very fantastic driver in that lead position. Darius Ostreka, though, has proven time and time again that he is a monster in that chase. So here we go. The lights go on and the lights go off.
Be interesting to see Darius in the chaser, to be honest. It'd be quite fair.
We go. Darius Ostreka ready to follow him in here. Vitaly Isev ready to send it here. Big initiation. Darius Ostreka, though, all over the side of him already, putting the proximity on. These grade A battles are where it really counts, and Darius Ostreka proving that here with Vitaly Isev. Look at that lead run, just absolutely fantastic as he's going through this track. That transition was just absolutely sex to look at here. Darius Ostreka almost putting a XXX rating on our stream here with how good looking that transition was.
They love testing the gliders, don't they? They love finding the limits.
Absolutely. But going into the second half of the battle here, here's Darius Ostreka to lead in Vitaly Isev. They're taking off immediately. Here we go. Darius Ostreka in the lead position. Vitaly Isev in the chase. Here we go. Fantastic job firing it down the hill as Darius Ostreka pulling a bit of that gap sauce on Vitaly Isev. And oh, where'd he go?
What?
Oh, what happened? That is not good as Darius Ostreka takes a trip to Narnia in the middle of a battle.
Does he want to take
What happened?
I think he deserves
Brandon, are you like opening up your own like mountain climbing chalet? Like, did he come by and buy a ticket to go climb that mountain? Cause like, whoa, there he goes, man. It happens absolutely out of nowhere. It's like his wheel. It's like, no, you know what? Oh, I don't want to do him dirty like this, but please play that replay again. I'm waiting. I gotta see this replay again. Coming down here, you can see him send it in, fire it down the hill, and as he's coming through right here, you know what it is. You know, those Xbox 360 controller batteries die pretty quick, don't they? That's the controller disconnected moment right there.
I'm baffled. Like, did something happen to his wheel?
I don't know. Sometimes when you're fighting that mode, when like the car is so low angle like that, a lot of the times it's hard to fight the car and keep it sideways. It's possible that he just kind of let go, you know, slipped out of his hands. The car went goodbye, and I kind of just hope he's okay over there. Alrighty, we're going to send the next battle before we get our decision. Here we go. Look at this. Owen Magner and Daniel Andreev here flying through the course. Owen Magner off the door of that IRT S15, sending it around the course. Look at that. Nice and deep is Daniel Andreev. Owen Magner, though, ready to put it on that S15. Losing up here. Beautiful. Tapping the wall, though, as Daniel Andreev towards the end. Was that due to the contact possibly pushing him wide? It's possible. But hey, you know what? Fantastic job from both of these guys so far. I wonder if we have just about enough time to quickly show the winner of the last battle. I'm not entirely sure. Alrighty.
Beautiful work by these boys. That contact towards the wall could be something they'll look at some point in this battle, though.
Absolutely, but here we go. Daniel Andreev now in the chase position. Owen Magner in the lead. Here we go, firing out of that start chicane. Owen Magner, Daniel Andreev. Here we go. Owen Magner sending it in. Big initiation as he goes into that first outside zone. Nicely done with Daniel Andreev, though, putting the pressure on. Absolutely aggressive as he can be in that IRT S15, following in that R33. Beautiful job as they come through the transition. Daniel Andreev launching up, puts it right where it needs to be.
Here we go.
Firing it up the hill is Owen Magner. What a run from both of these guys.
That is some classic Daniel Andreev driving there. I was a bit like, oh, he's playing it quite safe in the chase, and then boom, he comes out and he is right there, and he's just he's heavy hitters, man.
Alrighty, we're gonna really quickly take it to the decision for the last battle. Here we go. Darius Ostraka, Vitaly Isev. That last battle, it's a split decision, but Vitaly Isev takes the win. Darius Ostraka, unfortunately, gonna have to pack it up. But hey, a grade 8 finish on our final round. Not a bad thing at all. Next up here, we'll take it down to the...
I've just had a comment on the YouTube in the stream, and someone said that Darius saw some birds and wanted to get a closer look.
Absolutely. Oh, that's hilarious. He went bird watching. That's what it was.
So yeah, confirmed. Darius Ostraka is a avid bird enthusiast.
Absolutely,
nice.
Darius Ostraka.
I'm just glad it's not just me that's happened to now. I don't feel as bad.
To be fair, though, at least Darius Ostraka went off camera. We saw the entirety of your backflip.
I did it with style, with finesse. Hey, my skating experience came in. My skating experience came in. I did a tray flip, man. Come on.
Damn. He said tray flip when he's a scooter rider.
Yeah, I ride skateboard too. All right. Just
Sure, Brandon, sure.
I'll send you some skate clips, all right?
I'll
prove it to you.
Okay.
But going back to this battle, though, two amazing drivers. Owen absolutely putting it on there to add to Daniel. I am intrigued to see what that final collision at the wall will end up putting this battle to, because it could... I think it was just before the finish line, so that could put it into effect as well. So if we look here, it's just a nice... it could be that Daniel was just a bit too deep, but going to... Yeah, so here we go. So we're going through. Beautiful work by Owen. Really pushing him out there through the transition, and as we're coming around here, you can kind of just see a little tap there. Might have put him a bit too wide, might have been just a bit too much of a commitment into the wall, but we'll definitely have to see.
Absolutely, but here we go. Swiping left for Daniel Andreev. Swiping right for Owen Magner. That's 1, 2, and 3. Daniel Andreev takes the win and moves on to our top 4 finalists.
Definitely a sad one to see Owen go out, but
here we go. This is a battle that everybody's waiting for. Our last real championship contender. I mean, Daniel Andreev is in 5th, but I don't know what the points look like for him to take it. But Anthony Taylor, most notably, the 3rd place finisher, I believe at this point, if he makes it here, I believe he's bumped up to the 2nd point contender here. But keep in mind, Anthony Taylor has to make it to 2nd place today to gain enough points to surpass Ernestus Chakoubalis here. Anthony Taylor.
Marcel's definitely not one to sleep on, though. He has definitely been putting in the work with Escuco Drift family for a long time, so we might see some heartbreak. We might see some victory for Anthony, so let's see.
Absolutely. Here we go. Anthony Taylor to lead, to chase in. Marcel Studzinski. Look at that initiation. Ooh. Beautiful job. Anthony Taylor losing quite a bit of ground. Not sure what happened there, but Anthony Taylor going to try and lunge up and get back up onto the door of that S15. Marcel Studzinski doing a fantastic job. Look at that. Beautiful job from Anthony Taylor, managing to make up the ground and keep it up. And look at that. Finishing out the run strong in that Zone 1 GT Radial BMW. Absolutely fantastic car to look at. Would like to see a closer look at the end of this to see what happened to make Anthony Taylor lose all that ground. But we'll have to see what happens in this lead run.
Did I just commit my first bit of commentator's curse? I think I might have. But we'll see.
Oh, you're officially initiated. That's it. You're commentating now.
Let's see how Anthony can do in the lead.
Here we go. Anthony Taylor ready to send it in. That Zone 1 BMW. Look at that big initiation. Marcel Studzinski right there on the side of him. Look at that. Not backing down. Anthony Taylor coming into this decel zone. Big angle as he wraps around through this outside zone. Marcel Studzinski putting a bit of contact on him through that. But look at this. Transitioning right there on him. Anthony Taylor holding that angle. Finishing out the run strong are both of these drivers. And now I'd like to go back to the replay of the first run and see what happened here. You can see Anthony Taylor lunges up, gets right up onto the door of Marcel Studzinski, but then all of a sudden Marcel just picks up like a bunch of speed loses a bunch of angle and picks up a bunch of speed and runs away with it. I absolutely like real talk here. I absolutely hate drivers who do that, where they drop the angle and run away from the guy behind them, because that's not drifting. That's not enjoyable competition. That's watching one guy take advantage of his car's speed here. You can see him drop angle and just immediately, and then wrap on the angle again to just about grab that inside clip. Not a fun way to see somebody take home a win, but it's very possible that this could happen, as they technically did nothing wrong. Marcel Studzinski, still a very phenomenal driver, but not exactly a fan when that kind of stuff happens. Anthony Taylor definitely putting up one hell of a fight nonetheless. Brendan, what do you think?
I honestly, it could be the possibility that Anthony was just a bit too up on there. It could have been that he wasn't predicting that Marcel he could have been going a bit slower than he thought into the initiation, and he just had to back off a bit to not make contacts. And it's obviously, after getting back onto throttle after the initiation, Marcel could have just picked up a lot of speed, and obviously as Anthony's had to pull back, it's just unfortunate timing. It just created a gap, but you never know. Could have gone the way you think, could have gone the way I thought. We'll never know.
Not necessarily what I think, it's just what it looks like at first glance, for sure.
Yeah.
You see it, and it definitely kind of looks like that. You know, up in the booth, we do have to keep our opinions. You know, we do have our opinions. We got to keep our opinions very neutral, and that is just what it looked like at the start. But hey, you know what? Both of these drivers are absolutely fantastic, and it's really cool to see what they do. Anthony Taylor, though, just unfortunately not quite having the pace to keep up with Marcel Studzinski. We're going to go over to the decision here from the judges. And here we go. Swiping left for Marcel. Swiping right for Anthony Taylor. That's 1, 2. And Marcel Studzinski gets the win and moves on to our top 4. Unfortunately for Anthony Taylor, that is the end of his day today and the end of his season. He will be packing it up and heading home.
It's unfortunate for Anthony, but amazing work for him throughout the entire season. His driving and his personality has shone and brought amazing things to this championship. So a big congratulations for his entire performance.
Absolutely, but here we go. We move on. I believe this is our first battle of the top 4.
It had to happen. IRT versus IRT. It happens every round. And it's
absolutely, and it seems to be the running theme, you know, these IRT guys being in the top 4 going up against each other. It's unfortunate that these guys aren't on the opposite sides of the bracket, but hey, they're gonna go at it, and hopefully this should go well for them, these IRT teammates. Oh yeah, there's I just realized there's 3 IRT guys in the top 4 today. It's Danielis Parangoskis, Vitaly Isev, and Daniel Andreev.
I think that is the entire IRT team that's currently competing.
Marcel Studzinski, not exactly sure where he is right now. He's like, what did I walk into?
Hopefully we can I'm rooting for Marcel at this point. Come on, take him down. Just 1v3.
Right, it's like playing solo squads in Fortnite or something. I don't know.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing to see, though. All of these teammates getting the opportunity to both show their talent against other teams and also within themselves.
Absolutely, but here we go. We're going to get it ready to send them for our first top 4 battle. Vitaly Isev and Danielis Parangoskis. Vitaly to lead in Danielis here. This is going to be interesting.
This feels a lot like deja vu.
Right? Except last time it was Vitaly, I believe, versus Daniel Andreev. That was a really good battle.
Oh, the one more times. So many one more times.
My cat is currently yelling at me from the top of the stairs. He's decided it is cuddle time, and he will not stand for anything else. Here we go. Vitaly Isev in the lead position. Danielis Parangoskis right there. Look at that lunge. These two teammates are dealing with each other an untold amount of times. But Vitaly Isev doing a fantastic job in the lead position. Danielis being uncharacteristically sloppy here as he makes a couple of mistakes in that first section of the course. But coming through this last section, he cleans it up and gets right onto the door of his IRT teammate. Look at that. We love to see it. Both of these guys going at each other. It's friendly, but it's aggressive. They're frenemies, so to speak. Some Odi Bakshis and Matt Field type action here.
I'm just waiting to see. I'm expecting to see Daniel Andreev just kind of chase after him at this point.
Absolutely, this is going to be incredible. Danielis Parangoskis versus Vitaly Isev.
Here we go.
Here we go. Vitaly going to be chasing in. Danielis here. Danielis to lead him in. Big initiation from Danielis, firing it down the hill. But Vitaly Isev right there with him. Look at the proximity. He's already pushing on down the hill, firing it down into this decel zone. Danielis doing a fantastic job in the lead position, but Vitaly right there with him. Look at that lunge from that A80 Supra up onto that BMW. Fantastic job from both of these guys, Brandon. Whoa!
Whoa!
Let's not wreck the cars, gentlemen. You might need to do it one more time with how close that battle was.
Oh, please don't. I'm getting flashbacks, and I have a feeling it could go to one more time with how precise these guys can get, especially when they're against each other. It's it's untold how many times they could face each other. It just seems to be the thing that happens when they go against each other. But no, both textbook driving from both of them as always. Bit of a definitely a bit of a check up on the from clip 2 to 3, but in the chase on the first run, but potentially it could have an impact. But you never know. It's the little collision after the finish line. I love that. Just a little bonk. As you can see here,
There you go. Here, look at these two guys, just absolutely fantastic. We love watching teammates go at each other because they know that they are, that they know how to drive with each other for sure. They definitely,
yeah.
you know, they're usually at like a 9.5 to a 10 most of the day, but when they go up against each other, it seems like that dial goes all the way up to 15 out of nowhere.
They have to buy a new dial. They've got a secret dial that they just somehow managed to find.
Like that button Peter Vincek used to have in his car to scramble his boost lower so that he can make more grip.
Yeah, wait, that was a thing? Did not know that.
Yeah, it was a fun little bit of drift trivia. It happened back at Seattle. I believe it was 2019 or 2018. I can't remember which year, but it was back when the Worthhouse cars were still competing, and Peter Vincek had a way to lower the boost essentially as they were coming through off the bank. Basically, had the big power for the bank, and then went down to lower power for the more grip in the tighter section. You could actually, if you go back and watch that event, you can actually hear the car's RPMs go down as he hits that button going through the bank to that second outside zone. You can hear the car kind of like screaming and then whoa as it kind of comes into it.
It's definitely a crafty bit of engineering there. Here we go.
Here we go. Look at that. That's 1, 2, and 3. Vitaly Isev takes the win and moves on to the finals. It's going to be one IRT driver in the finals. Danielis Paragoskis, though, don't sleep on him, though. He still has a chance at a podium after the third place battle. So next up, Daniel Andreev versus Marcel Studzinski. This is going to be an absolutely barn burner of a battle. Marcel Studzinski, could this be Marcel getting into the finals, or will it be an all IRT finals once again here with Daniel Andreev and Vitaly Isev? All will be told here in a moment as Daniel Andreev and Marcel Studzinski are lined up, ready to go. And both of the other two IRT cars getting ready to go here.
It's just the battle of the S15s now.
Right, here we go. Daniel Andreev, S15 versus S15. There's a white S15 and a blue S15. The S15s are going at it. Look at that S15 getting on the door of the S15. What a hell of a job from that S15, doing a fantastic job leading in that S15, and that S15 doing a fantastic job chasing in that S15. It's just S15 lunging up onto the door of that S15. Look at that. These S15s are absolutely rocking the track right now. Look at that, those S15s.
You know what? I'm more impressed at the fact that you managed to continue that throughout the whole run. Fair play, man. But no, incredible driving.
We have fun up here in the booth, absolutely. And for the second half of this top four battle, who will make it to the finals? Will it be the Escuco versus the IRT, or will it be a teammate finals here between Daniel Andreev and Marcel Studzinski? Here we go, going into the initiation. Marcel Studzinski right there on that wide line, super fast, but Daniel Andreev has all the answer for that speed. Look at that, putting it right up on the door of Marcel Studzinski as they go through this last section of the course. Look at that launch from Daniel Andreev right up the hill. every inch of pace that they have being put into those cars, firing it back up the end of the course. What a battle there, Brandon. The S15 versus S15 battle seemed to produce one hell of a tight race here.
Well, as you know, last season I was running the S15 myself. Incredible chassis to run, very snappy and very versatile. You can do many things. It's just such a good all-around chassis, and it proves it here. Both these drivers, Marcel and Daniel, absolutely on it. The only thing I could really see between each run was going through that teardrop. Marcel did drop angle up a bit and drop back only the tiniest of bit, but he managed to pull it back very quickly. So we'll have to see how that affects this battle, but you never know, it could be it could go either way. So I'm just glad I am not judging, I am not equipped for that, so we'll leave it to them.
Absolutely. We'll take it over to the judges here in just a moment. What a battle between these two. Once again, will it be an IRT final, or will the Escuco Drift team or Escuco Drift team find their way into those finals? That will be the question. Daniel Andreev, Marcel Studzinski, two very fantastic drivers. And here we go.
It'd be nice to see Escuco up at the top for, in SVDS for the first time, especially with I don't know how they did in season 1. I don't think Marcel was actually part of Escuco back in season 1. I think he joined them halfway through.
Marcel Studzinski, I believe, was there most of the time during season 1. However, he wasn't on Escuco, and he was competing in a borrowed E46.
Yes, or was he? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, he was driving the HJK VDC car. It was definitely an era for Marcel Studzinski.
Yes, definitely. And it's funnily enough, I have quite a good history with Escuco. We have a good partnership with them at Frontside Racing, and we tend to compete and practice together quite a lot, especially through the DCGP days. And that's just a class team to work with and be alongside competing with. Really good people that both from the directors to the drivers, they're amazing people. If you know Nico Stilia, very talented young driver who represents them as well. Shame he's not joined us into this series, really, because I'd be intrigued to see how he did. But I have a lot of respect for Escuco, and it's nice to see results.
You know what driver I miss in this series? Harvey Goodall. Was it Goodall or Good? Harvey Goodall. Yeah. He was super cool. He was super cool to watch. That 8-year-old drifter doing a fantastic job last time he was competing. But I believe we should have a decision here in just a moment. We'll take it over to the judging screen. Marcel Studzinski or Daniel Andreev. Who will it be? Swipe it left for Daniel. Swipe him right for Marcel. Who is it going to be in the finals? That's 1, 2. It's going to be split. Oh, and Marcel Studzinski makes it to the finals, which means it's not going to be an all IRT final. We have Marcel Studzinski going up against Vitaly Isev. It's going to be one hell of a battle. But first, we have our third place battle, which is going to be an all IRT battle. Daniel Andreev versus Danielis Parangauskas. That's going to be a mouthful, considering they're both basically named Daniel.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we were looking at IRT pair battles regardless. So it's 3 in a... Wow. Yeah. We've had 3 IRT only battles this round, which I think is absolutely crazy. They've done themselves proud.
How funny would it have been, though? I mean, just in like hypotheticals here, if Marcel didn't win, right, there would have been a chance at an all IRT podium. Because it would have been 2 in the finals and then 1 possibly beating Marcel in the third place battle. That'll definitely be interesting. But that is a reality that didn't happen in this universe here. So Danielis Parangauskas and Daniel Andreev, these guys gonna go at it for third place. Now keep in mind, when it comes to these podium battles, we will not be announcing who takes the win, just because once we are done with it, we will be heading down to the driver chat so the judges can announce who takes the win here and who gets their podiums at SVDS round 5. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get these guys sent. Daniel Andreev in the lead position, Danielis Parangauskas in the chase. Who is going to take third place on that podium? Big initiation from Daniel Andreev with Danielis Parangauskas all over the side of him, going into this inside clip. Nice and tight to it is Daniel Andreev. Danielis Parangauskas, though, no slouch in the chase. Look at this battle. These two teammates, there's no counting how many times they've done runs with each other, and it's just showing absolutely you could not fit a piece of paper in between these two. Just what a battle from both of these guys.
Daniel was so strong in the lead. Is it Danielis? Is that how you say it? Is it Danielis?
Yeah, it's Danielis Parangauskas.
Yeah, so Danielis, honestly, that he seems to be locked in on that proximity on the chase, going towards that wall every time. You see him go through that, he is on there. It's crazy. He's so robotic.
Absolutely, but don't sleep on Daniel Andreev either. He's definitely one of the greater chase drivers of the series, and this is going to be great. Here we go. Big initiation. Look at that side-by-side initiation. That's ballsy coming from both of these drivers. Danielis Parangauskas, a fantastic lead driver, but Daniel Andreev all over the side of him, pushing him around this track, telling him, hey, buddy, you're my teammate, but I want that third place bad. Is Daniel Andreev here, finishing out the run. Man, I do not envy our judges whatsoever, not one bit. I couldn't make a choice if I had a gun to my head when it came to this.
Yeah, definitely, Austin. Are we gonna see a famous IRT one more time battle? Is it gonna happen? I have a feeling it could. Like, it was just so close, and I mean, look at the proximity from both of them through that last zone. Incredible. You can't fault them. It's I'm gonna need a drink of water after that. My brain is just I can't think.
Brandon's brain is fried here.
I'm a driver at heart. I can't talk about it. I just do it. You know what? The after movie footage is going to be absolutely insane to film. I cannot wait to get this done, because the battles throughout from top 32 all the way up to final has been almost final battles all throughout. Almost, it's crazy. It's gonna be. Nah. I'm excited for this.
I'm just letting Brandon have his moment here, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. This is your third place battle. Whoever, if we do get a decision from this battle, we will be moving on to our final battle. We will announce the podium drivers at the end of the day.
Look at that. Jap versus German.
Both of them piloted by Russians, I'm pretty sure.
Wow, that's an interesting pairing.
I'm not actually sure where these guys are from. It's definitely interesting. It'd be interesting to find out for sure. But Daniel Andreev and Danielis Parangauskas, both of these guys, fantastic drivers.
European driving, man. Their style is unparalleled.
Absolutely.
It is the fashion show of driving styles when it comes to drifting, I'd say. Europe is definitely the flashiest and closest style of driving you can find. In FD, you do find a lot of they're good, don't get me wrong, I love a bit of FD, but I'm very biased to the European style, where it's just pin to the doors and seconds away from disaster if you did the wrong thing.
Yeah, to be fair, when it comes to FD, you know, you have a lot of guys, they feel the slightest tap on their doors, and they they play mind games like spinning to make the judges give them the win at field. Up in European drifting, a lot of them, they have this mindset where, you know what, do not take the easy way out, fight for it, absolutely, and it's just why European drifting is better. The problem with drifting in the States is that it's kind of turned into drift NASCAR a little bit, where everybody's more focused on on the idealism that if you ain't cheating, you ain't winning. So, you know, it's definitely interesting to watch for that vibe. But when you want pure driving skill, that's when you definitely go to the European circuit for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, you know what? I watched the last round of FD, and it was so nice to see Chelsea take the championship. Like, it was, especially since he had just announced his retirement from FD. It was just the stars aligned for him, and I am so happy to see an Artiaz driver take the series win. It was. It was beautiful.
Alrighty, it looks like our judges have given these guys a decision, but keep in mind, we're not going to tell you guys what that decision is until we head down to our podium, which means, ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment that you have all been waiting for. I almost said Daniela's Paragas because I really read the wrong name. Look at this, Marcel Studzinski, Vitaly Isev in the finals. Here we go. Let's send in Driftland as Marcel Studzinski fires it down the hill. Look at the speed he's carrying. Vitaly Isev all over the door of that S15. Look at this, transitioning into that last outside zone. Vitaly Isev putting the proximity on, a little bit of contact, but they keep it going like men. They fight, they duke it out, and this is getting spicy, Brandon.
Wow. Absolutely insane work by both Marcel and Vitaly. That was that lunge though, and that transition was crazy. I'm so like, he's definitely willing to risk it all to get this win.
Absolutely, in this stage of the game, it's definitely a big game of risk reward. Seeing Marcel Studzinski have to throw down one hell of a lead run, and Vitaly Isev take a bunch of risks in the chase to stay up on the door. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the second half of the battle. Let's hear it in the chat. How are you feeling? Who's gonna win, Vitaly Isev or Marcel Studzinski? Will it be yet another IRT podium, or will it be Marcel Studzinski from the Escuco Drift family coming out on top? Here we go, out of the start chicane. Let's see them go. Reyes, come on, throw the lights on. Let's watch these guys go. We can't bear the pressure. Here we go. Marcel Studzinski to chase in Vitaly Isev as they fire it down the straight on the wall. Big initiation from Vitaly Isev coming down the hill. A little bit of a correction. Marcel Studzinski following him in, getting right there up onto the Dorthed decel zone, puts the pressure on, coming around that outside zone. How are they going to do? Vitaly Isev keeps it on the course here on Marcel Studzinski, putting the pressure on, that tire on the door.
Oh,
what
God.
a run!
Incredible. Wow. You couldn't have a more perfect final, could you, really? Like, this. It is absolutely insane what is being pulled off in this round. Just looking at that dive from Vitaly, that was just incredible. Just one thing I wanted to pull up on from the YouTube chat. Regarding the thing with Escuco, it is me personally who has a relationship with them. If I apologize if there was confusion. SVDS does not have doesn't have a personal relationship with any of the teams. It is me personally, Brandon Carter, the driver. But yeah, regarding to that, it is amazing to see the standard of driving in this competition. It's a hard one because that dive from Vitaly could really make or break this battle. So what do you think, Austin?
Absolutely, these guys are super interesting to watch, whether it ends up being an Escuco win or an IRT win. You know, we will all leave having watched some of the greatest battles in sim driving. We don't have any personal feelings towards either or. Escucos, they're the homies, but so are IRT. We love them all. Everybody who comes out here, it's the drivers who make this series what it is. You know, it's the drivers who come out here and drive their heart out, no matter who it is, no matter what logo is on the side of the door, no matter what color your car is. You're going out there and you're sending it, then we're all happy to see you succeed. Absolutely awesome to see Vitaly Isev. I mean, I've known him since the Car X days, back when he used to play that, but you know, it's been really awesome seeing his progression come out here on Assetto, join a really good team, and make his way into stardom when it comes to Assetto Corsa. But hey, Marcel Studzinski, I've been watching him since the first season, and it's been awesome to see him get better every round that he competes. Coming up from that VDC E46 was awesome to see him go at it, and it's really awesome to see him now in this S15 doing what he can to be there, up there with the best, as he is definitely one of the best. So absolutely awesome to see both of these guys. I would not be mad, and I would definitely be happy at whoever wins this battle for sure. Both of these guys absolutely deserving of it. It would have been really cool to see 1, 2, 3 from the IRT guys. It would have been really cool to see that. I don't think that's ever actually happened with team members getting a 1, 2, 3 on a podium, so would have been cool to see that this round. But Marcel Studzinski just couldn't help coming in and mixing everything up. We love to see it, absolutely. So we'd like to thank every driver out here. This, as we are getting towards the end of the season, I am getting a little bit more emotional here. We'd like to thank every driver out here for coming out, making this series what it is. We would not have a drift series if there were no drifters to drift in the series. So absolutely would like to thank every single driver. Ladies and gentlemen in the chat, you guys watching, you guys make the series what it is in terms of why we have a live stream at the end of everything. I think you guys are definitely the bread and butter of having a live stream, is getting to see people actually interact and enjoy watching it. And I'd like to thank my staff and everything. As much as I like Brandon, I love you, having you in the booth, but I do still have to thank Alex Sahara for being my lovely co-commentator for the majority of season 1 and season 2. Even thanks going all the way back to Ian Koenig opening up those first 2 rounds. Super chill dude, love to see that guy succeed over on Instagram. Blackout for streaming the events. He's absolutely an amazing guy for doing this. He streams, I swear every time I end up in an event where I'm commentating, I swear Blackout here is probably the guy who's streaming it, because he is just everywhere all at once. Ty, Artix, and Rise, all 3 of our judges, all of these guys putting in the effort and doing the job that nobody wants to do and everybody seems to hate them for. But hey, you know what, you wouldn't have a battle when it comes to without judges. And once we have a decision, but before we take off down to the other chat, I am gonna also give a big thanks to Rise for being the orchestrator, the man at the helm, so to speak, captaining all of us on this vessel of incredibility here. Man, Rise is just absolutely the G for getting all of this going. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take it here. Getting some info from Rise about what the podium and what the championship is going to look like. Ladies and gentlemen, please tighten your seatbelts, because this is going to be exciting news to hear who takes the win and who makes it for sure. I think we wait now. We're waiting. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it has been one hell of a season. SVDS Series 2, thank you so much for being here with us as we get ready to take it down to our podium drivers. We're going to see them here in a moment. And, man, what a season it's been. Brandon doing a fantastic job with the media, and then also coming in to commentate with me for this next event. Brandon, what do you think so far?
It has been a pleasure. Honestly, being a part of this championship has been definitely life-changing for me. Doing the after movies and all the media has been an absolute pleasure to do. And obviously, many thanks for giving me the opportunity to join you tonight. Came in quite nervous, being that I was competing at the same time, but it has been an absolute slice of heaven being in here, and it is just, I'm so proud of everyone that's been a part of this championship and continues to push it forward, and especially for Rise to give me the opportunity to do all of this. It's an amazing thing to be a part of, and if anyone ever gets the chance to come to Driftland, I would. I went for Dory Fest. It was an incredible thing to see the track in real life and see doors getting smashed, basically, because they're quite aggressive in real life and Driftland. But I just hope everyone enjoys the content we've been putting out, and hopefully we can bring some more in the future.
Absolutely, Brandon. Thank you very much for those kind words. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned. We're going to cut to one more small ad break while we get everything set up for our podium announcements. Please stay tuned, because if you want to find out what all of this was for, what all of this was building up to, just stick with us for just a moment. We'll be back after this break.
Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two forward cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two forward cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on.
Just you and me, let's escape, girl, tonight.
on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to SVDS Round 5, and this is it. This is the end. This is the end of the event. This is the end of the series. I mean, it has been one hell of a series. It's been great to be a part of this, absolutely. And here you go. Here's the nice shot of all of your podium drivers. Well, your podium and your fourth place. And we are going to get ready here to announce the finalists here. As you know, you have all of these guys here going up for fighting for a podium. But here we go. I've been sent the results for this round, so they read out as follows. Your Hard Charger award winner for today is none other than Cameron Mustard in his Jap Speed Performance R32. Your third place driver is Daniel Andreev in his IRT S15. Absolutely fantastic. Just coming out just over his teammate and getting that podium finish. Absolutely awesome job from Daniel Andreev. But as we move on to the announcement you guys have all been waiting for, the first place winner, as we'll know who the second one is through announcing that. Ladies and gentlemen, your round winner for round 5, your final round of SVDS Series 2, is none other than the Escuco S15 of Marcel Studzinski, our man, coming out on top and winning this final round of SVDS. It's been an exciting one. Comes out on top, just edging out over his opponent there, Vitaly Isev. It's been a very fantastic day, and everybody has absolutely earned their place on this top step and on these podiums here. Absolutely fantastic. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I have something else to announce for you. I have something else that might be even more exciting, even possibly, if it even was possible.
Hold on.
More exciting.
We probably should get the drivers in here, if they are available for the championship results.
They are in here.
Alrighty, we are moving on to our final championship podium. Ty, I don't think realizes that he has audible on the stream. But here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, for your championship finalists, in third place, rounding out the podium of the championship, is Anthony Taylor in his Zone 1 Motorsports BMW E92. What an absolute fantastic fight. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out for him in this final round, but coming home with third place, that bronze trophy is absolutely nothing to sneeze at. He put in a huge, hard fight through the entirety of SVDS Season 2, and it's been awesome watching him drive. So third place in the championship is Anthony Taylor. Moving on, your first place, we'll announce this again like we did with the podium. Your first place winner, the person who has fought the hardest, the person who has earned the most points, the man who has done it all and come back around again. Your first place winner in the championship is Ernestus Jacoubelis. It is beautiful S14. That man has absolutely done a fantastic job all season, earning up enough points to be almost 40 points ahead of the next guy behind him. And there you go, meaning that in second place is Vitaly Isev with 304 points, beating out Anthony Taylor by 1 point. That is unfortunate for Anthony, but what is fortunate is Vitaly Isev taking home that second place. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in to Scottish Virtual Drift Series. We wouldn't be anything without you guys, and we hope you guys enjoyed not only this round, but our entire season. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned to the website to see news for the next rounds coming up, and these are your championship finalists. Thank you very much, everybody, and good night.
Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya.